Here we go.
Hello, friends, and welcome to another Smite update show. This is the 10.2, the King of the Manticores update show, and the second update of our first season of Year 10, the Season of Monsters. For those that don't know me, I am Titan Dandy, happy to be here, joined by two of my amazing cohorts, of whom you've seen before. We have Aggro and Lermy. Welcome to the show, y'all.
What up?
Hey.
Finally patch
Oh,
notes
shit.
time.
Finally.
Oh, yeah.
Patch notes
And this is a
time.
fun one.
It is.
Yeah, we got a lot to go on here, so these are going to be my commiserates for the whole show, so I hope
This
you like
is
the
a
way they
fun
look. I
one.
do. They're going to be helping us get through all of the cool stuff that we have going on
I don't
today
know how I
because
feel
there's
about
a lot
that.
more Magic the Gathering, another new god, 2 updates, 2 new gods. Don't get used to it, but it is happening right now, and we're super excited about it, so
Super
I mean,
fun.
I'm pumped. Are y'all guys ready to get into it?
I can't
hype.
wait. There's a lot of
So
really good
ready.
stuff in this patch. I mean, the next update in the Season of Monsters we knew was going to be really exciting, and I think the players are going to be really excited for it.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. Well, let's dive right into it. As always, we have some balance to talk about to start, and we're going to start on the map. We're going to talk about Conquest and some of the changes that are happening there. So let's talk about the Titans. I hear they're getting just... It looks like the change might have already happened. It's just a reminder, or explain.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
just a
exactly.
fix?
So this has actually been happening in all of your Conquest games.
Oh,
The
the
Titans
cleave.
have had this cleave attack, this more AoE attack that has been on the map since 10.1, but it was just left out of patch notes. You might not have noticed because patch notes were still absolutely enormous and
Huge.
15 hours long. But this has been happening, but now just more official. Now everyone knows
Yeah,
for sure.
the writing is on
That
the
is
wall.
intended.
Or on the blog, I guess. But yeah, so that is happening. So please don't blame us. You saw how long the last one was. I left and then took a nap on the floor. It was crazy. Anyway, so moving on. Fire Giant, not Surtur. Other one. The map one now. Fire Giant's having some changes. What's going on there?
Yeah, so with the Fire Giant in 10.1, we noticed how there were a little bit of difficulties placing certain abilities and using them on the Fire Giant to confirm them. So we wanted to make sure that that was going to be a little bit easier for you guys.
we
So now
know
there is a
this,
spot in the
right?
center of the pit that is completely impassable, just acts like a wall, but it's going to make it a lot easier for you guys to place abilities there instead. So while you can't have that very center of the circle to play around in, it'll make it a lot easier to actually use abilities when the Fire Giant is there. So that's going to make it
Oh,
a little
wait,
bit
they're
better,
talking about
especially
when
for warding as
Fire
well.
Giant
Your wards
isn't
aren't gonna
there,
get
there's
eaten
a
up
wall.
either, because you can't place swords in walls. I mean,
Yeah.
come
What
on.
the
Exactly.
fuck?
All right, well, cool. So the neighbor of the Fire Giant, the Pyromancer, looks like they might be showing up on the map just a little early, actually.
Yeah, exactly. So it
Yeah,
has
it's
been
taking way too
Pyromancer
long to
spawning
go
in
up.
10 minutes now in
Yeah.
that right side mid-Harpy camp from the order
7
side of the map.
minutes, it's a good change.
But we just felt like Solo Lane wanted to get involved a little bit sooner on the map than that 10-minute mark. You know,
Yeah.
there's plenty to do right now in Solo between
I feel like
the
it usually spawns even
coup
later than
and
10 minutes.
cooldown buff
Because you don't
and
clear
blue
that
buff
camp
and the Roman
sometimes.
Harpies and all that kind of
It's
stuff.
awkward.
But a lot of times you ended up just only staying in your 1v1 Solo Lane a little bit too long. Now with the Pyromancer spawning a little bit earlier at 7 minutes, we're hoping that teams will start to focus their attention a little bit more on that solo side
Got
a
it.
little bit earlier and allow the Solo Laner to rotate and be a little bit more impactful.
Makes sense. Yeah, that bomb is incredibly impactful. It's been really fun to learn to use. Yeah,
Yep.
so super excited to see that that's getting online a little earlier. So next up looks like we have the Mana Camp getting a few changes.
Yeah, so this is just a really small one. So in previous seasons, when the blue buff holder was really only one satyr, its kind of
good.
special power or ability was that it could summon little ghost minions. But now that the camp is always 3 little guys, there's no real reason to have that, really, because it's
Those are
just
extra
more
stacks, though,
minions
right?
to kill. It becomes
Yeah.
a
If you
little
were
bit
stacking
swarmy. You
anything?
know, if you're not hitting them, you're taking a lot of damage. So now we're just getting rid of
So
that
now
ability
it's going to take
and
me even
making it
longer to
that,
stack in
you'll
the
only
jungle.
ever
That's
be
cool.
fighting 3 things at once
cool.
in the blue camp.
So no ghosts. All right,
No
cool.
ghosts.
No ghosts. Got it. All right, so next up, another change to a camp, the health camp, getting a little bit of touch up.
Yeah, green buff. I mean, we know that supports have to move a little bit out of their lane in order to get towards this green buff, and we want to encourage
And
that type
MB5.
of play style. You know, making sure you're in the right spot at the right time is a big part of playing support in Smite. But we wanted to make it feel a little bit better and more worth your while to go and pick up this green buff. And supports
Yeah,
historically,
they all have iPads.
you know,
Last week it was
how
only
much
Dandy.
MP5 they are getting in their early, starter item and in their first
Wait.
item because they need.
But
to
last week they
stay out
had
on the
good
map for a
mics.
good amount of
Yeah,
time.
get those
They're
abilities
back
out.
to the little
MP5.
face mics.
Now picking up the green buff will now provide you
Right?
with
I mean,
10 MP5
it's a
in order to help
decent.
you spam those abilities a little bit more often on your rotations.
Got it. Looking for good engages, good picks. I love it.
Yep.
All right. And last but
Blue
not
buff
least on
doesn't
the
need
map,
to be
it looks like the
having
totem,
any extra
our
buffs
brand new totem is
rolling.
having a little bit of a maybe a shape down.
Yeah, this is really just, it was very large on release. And
Real
so
big.
it was
Real
hard
big.
to see through. It was a little bit difficult to see, you know, who's
Totem is
winning because
smaller?
you kind of just have a lot more space to look
I
at
kinda
to
like
kind
the
of
way
get
it
those
was.
measurements. So it's actually going to just be smaller. The actual size around it, the hitbox, not changed at all.
Nope.
It's just the actual visual that you're looking at. It's just going to be a little bit smaller.
little
Just a
smaller.
little bit.
Fun fact, this does confirm that the totem is a pufferfish, and if you scare it, it will get big again, so be careful.
Yeah, don't be mean. It'll
Yeah,
get
just
bigger.
don't be mean. So that does it for the map. But of course, there are items to talk about. Now, I know
yeah.
there are a lot of hot ticket items, and we'll get to some of those in just a second. But we're starting off with a few nerfs, and specifically Druid Stone, the good old tier 1.
Yeah, so when looking at a lot of what the new tank item trees are building and,
Yeah.
you know, into the stones, into the prophetic cloak, things like that, you know, we just got the feedback that Druid Stone was a little bit too cost efficient for what it was giving, and
Got
Cloak
it.
1 was pretty weak in comparison. Felt like it was the right call to bring Druid Stone down in its cost effectiveness, so we'll just be going up in price. Probably not the best way for me to word that. Now going to be a little bit more expensive, from
It's gonna
600 to
cost more.
650. And then the tier 2 will be what gets the gold change. The tier 3 items in the Druid Stone tree will remain exactly the same.
The same.
I wonder if it was
it's
really
just
that
if
big
you're
of a
buying
deal.
Tier 1, Tier 2, you'll notice that it's a little bit more expensive. The
The
overall
one you have
cost
less
of the item
sustain
itself is
if you
gonna be the
start
same.
it, I guess.
Okay, got it. All right, well, good to know. And following that, Stone of Binding, also a bit of a nerf.
Yeah, so
So-
we were seeing this item a lot, right? And especially with the, you know, change to that Stone of Binding to actually make it a tier 3.
Yep.
The way that we were noticing that this was getting picked up was in a lot of aggressive support. builds.
Oh,
And we were
that's a
just
gr-
seeing
I feel like that's
several
kind of a
of these
crazy
bought in
Yeah.
one game. And,
early
you know,
game
when
nerf.
that sort of
That
thing
item
happens,
is
then we're
way like something
okay,
you
we
want to
need
build later
take
now.
a closer look into this. And so we did. And overall, we
0
noticed that it was
plus
doing,
one.
you know, a bit too much in terms of really shredding people, especially with characters that had
Stone of
multiple
Binding
ways
was
to
built a
proc
lot,
this,
bro.
you know,
You're
taking
trolling.
the proc and making it kind of omnipresent as
That
well.
item
made it a
with
little bit
stats are
more
really good.
easy to apply, but
Really,
dangerous
really
at the
good.
same time, right? So
Yeah.
it feels so much better to use, but it was a little bit too strong, right? So we got to take back that debuff just a little bit so that when you buy it in the early game, it's not doing as much. It's going to be really based on how far in the game you are. So again,
get
it's
to the
a
assassin
little bit
nerfs. Come
worse
on. I know
in the
they're coming.
beginning, but again, the more levels that you have, the better it's going to be
Just
for you.
fucking
Yeah, we
kick
hear the
me.
community feedback that tank item damage is high.
This is gonna be
you know,
a swift
this
kick
is
to the
gonna be
balls when
only
they
change that
announce
you see
whatever
in
the fuck
that-
they're announcing to
in that
nerf
area, and
jungling.
This is just the easiest way to make sure that binding is
And then once we're
worse
down
throughout
on the
game.
ground,
I think it'll still be valuable.
they're
on
gonna hit
gods
us
that use it
again
well,
with
but
something
course.
bigger. It's gonna be
you
like
gotta
a
be little bit
fucking
more
just kick to
purposeful
the face and
you
knock
don't
us
quite
out.
As much damage, losing
It's
the
coming.
5 protection debuff there.
Got it. All right. And like you said, we're being very intentional, trying to listen to the community, and one that everybody's been talking about because it's just been a real troublemaker, a real rugrat the last
Bluestone.
week or
Sure
so, if not
has.
more.
Yeah.
We have Contagion.
Oh, Contagion.
Obviously, there's
we
a
already know
lot
the
to go
Contagion
over here,
changes.
so just please dive into it. What's the slap on the wrist for Contagion?
Wow.
Little more than a slap.
Yeah, I
we
was
hope,
gonna say.
for Contagion.
it's a prison
So
sentence.
first of
This
all,
is already
losing
out.
10 damage on each tick. So remember, this is ticking 5 times.
Yeah,
losing
of
10
course.
is losing 50 damage, which is
Yeah.
obviously a lot. We really ran into a lot of issues where this item was able to be multi-stacked very
Yeah,
quickly,
it
where
was.
you could all of a sudden I have 2 Contagion procs on me, Lermy's got 2 Contagion procs on her. Now we're getting hit by 4 Contagion procs, back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
And it's going to stack up that damage really quickly. So we did make some changes in order to make it so
Cyber
that
Queen,
a
I am
player can
not.
only have 1 damaging Contagion
YouTube
aura
will be
on them
this
at a time. So
tier
if you
list
have
that I
the
recorded
debuff
last
on you
night,
you're
and then
pulsing
New
damage,
God.
and you CC the person with Contagion again, it should just refresh that
For the
to
next
5
3 days.
seconds instead of adding a second stack of Contagion.
Got it.
We also changed the rate at which the ticks were dealing damage. So before, when you CC'd someone, you would instantly take a tick of Contagion damage,
Got
then it would pulse. So it would pulse at 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that is 5 seconds of pulsing, but it isn't super clear. Doesn't give you an opportunity to realize what's happening to you. So we did change it so that it's now.
Why are they
1,
nerfing
2, 3,
solos
4,
so much?
5
Because
instead of
solos right now
0
take 0
through 4.
skill.
Same
You
amount of
build
ticks,
items and
just
you're fucking can do
giving
whatever. You
a
can be
little
the
bit of
worst
extra
player in the
time, more
world.
clarity there.
Build these items and run
We
at
are
somebody.
still looking into some known issues here
Yeah.
on Contagion. just
Solo
as a
and
heads up to the
Smite is a
community
joke.
where Sometimes,
class
especially on
and
refreshed
roll
auras,
needs
you'll
a-
still hear
overhaul
you
to be
won't hear
away
the
from
audio
just
pulse
being a
anymore,
tanky
that's
damage
going
dealer.
out, and sometimes there will be an extra visual pulse. None of those are, we're dealing damage properly in all cases that we know of. If you find any bugs, please let us know. But we are aware of some visual and audio bugs that we're looking to clean up as soon as we can.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, again, as everybody knows, Contagion has really been this point of contention for
This
the past,
item, the way
week,
it's set
2
up
weeks,
is
as time
stupid.
blurry and a
So these
construct,
nerfs need to go through.
It's been a lot, but I know that y'all guys
This
have been working
item,
on it. We hear all
you
of
hit
y'all's
CC
feedback.
on
We see
them,
all
so
the
you take
hilarious
damage. They should have to
plays
hit
that been
CC
made out
to
of
do
5
damage.
stacking those, and it was funny while it lasted, but definitely not intentional. So we're obviously keeping working on it and keep letting us know as you see things with Contagion and with anything
How you
else.
feel about
'cause
solos?
that's
How you
how
feel
we
about
learn and,
assassins?
get
That's
things
bullshit
fixed.
because
Yep.
assassins
So
still
cool. That was a
insta-die
massive block.
if they mess up at
in
all.
this. Let's move on
Warriors
to
literally
Prophetic
do free
Cloak, also
damage
getting
for
kind of a
running at
shipping
people.
nerf.
Yeah,
That's
so
not
we've been seeing
comparable.
a lot of these items, and
Yes.
people have really been enjoying the little mini game of running around and
I
trading
love
procs.
it.
It's
I
so
It's
good.
so much
Infinite
fun.
Charging it up,
man.
it's so good.
fun.
But we have noticed that
What?
this item is incredibly popular.
They just
incredibly
buffed
strong.
this?
So we wanted to kind of give it a little bit of love, but also a little bit of saying, you know, you're maybe a little bit too good,
Yeah,
right?
it's
So
Where's the
a lot of
nerf?
the contention around this item has been how fast can you actually stack this item? And
Where's
so,
the nerf?
You know, before the item actually gets fully stacked, it's okay, right? It's not that good.
Yes,
but
it
once you get it
is.
fully stacked, then you're living the life.
No,
right?
it's
So,
really good
until
before
that
it's
point,
fully
we wanted to
stacked.
make
What?
sure that it was a little bit easier to stack, but the rewards that you're getting for stacking it, just not as much. So
Where's
the
the
actual
nerf?
changes that we've done here are decreasing the internal cooldown from 10 to 8. And what that's going to do is, again, making it easier,
To
quicker
stack,
to stack.
which is
but,
dumb.
We're also going to be changing the evolved version then to decrease its actual protections that it's giving you. And so additionally to clarify this, the intended change from the normal to the evolved version is to gain extra protections.
Correct.
However, now you're gaining significantly less, 15 less of each.
Yep.
So that's an overall 30 prot nerf
Lot
to
of
make it
lots.
a little bit easier to stack. So that is a,
yeah.
a
Good
pretty significant
start.
change in terms of your overall total protection.
Why did that item give
to gain the
110
mitigation, you need to
protections?
have above a certain threshold of protection, so it's going to need even more protections from other items to actually make that part useful.
Exactly. Yeah, I think the big thing for Prophetic is we've seen that it is very,
Broken.
very strong in the right
Broken.
situations and in the right players'
It's
hands.
broken
but
all the time
if a
in
player
everybody's hands.
doesn't stack it
In every
well,
role.
then
Yeah.
they're going to end up seeing it be significant.
Everyone stacks it. Even solo laners are
making it a
stacking
little bit
it.
easier and more consistent to stack.
This might be
we still
bad
want it to
because
be
they're making
difficult.
it
We
even
still want it
easier to
be
stack.
Something that is a conscious
means
choice that you're making.
It
a
could
lot
be
of
more
that.
valuable in the solo lane.
For
It could be
an item
valuable in
effect
the
this
jungle.
powerful, it needs to warp your playstyle a little bit. But we are, at least I am pretty happy with the gameplay style that it
I
encourages.
feel like this item is
so
still going to be...
aggressive,
Yeah.
Like,
you know,
I think
getting
it's
up and
broken
running
right
space,
now. I think it's going to be
playing
insanely
to
good
stack it
once
in
it's
a pretty
nerfed.
unique way. I think
Yeah.
that loop has been very successful.
Mhm.
But the top end was clearly a little bit too strong. So we're going to be keeping a very close eye on Prophetic.
Yeah.
You know,
So
we know
Ven
that
stacking it
passive
on
is very
Tiamat
strong.
mid,
We know
yeah,
the
because it's
mitigation
right
interactions are
now
very
it's
strong.
broken.
And we've got some
Truly,
more
truly,
things.
Yeah,
like
we're getting there,
one of the
don't
best
worry.
items in the game.
This is not
Broken.
the only thing, but we think that this is a good way
This is
to
like
make it
them
a
making
little
it
bit
still
easier
really,
to
really
get
good.
to the more fun part, and then making sure that
More
the more fun
fun?
part of the evolved item
Yes,
isn't
running around
quite
taking
as
less
fun.
damage
and,
for
and again,
doing
it's all about
nothing.
making
Super
getting
fun.
this item a conscious effort instead of I'll pick it up because it's the best item in the game and it just needs to be a part of every build. Like it's still viable, but it has to be part of a conscious build. So
Yep.
I think that's a good goal. So next up, Sigil of the Old Guard, having a couple things changed about it as well.
Nerfing
Yeah,
Sigil.
mitigation. Remember the
Mitigation.
thing I
Yeah,
was
we,
just saying,
just
like,
we've been
2 seconds ago?
watching that so
Yeah.
closely.
Yeah, look, we've been on top of this mitigation build for sure. I
On
mean,
top of it.
we had a lot of discussion about this mitigation build and what it does and its impact and all that kind of stuff, and we do clearly think that it was a little
so
stronger
they've
than
shaved
we had
off
intended. And
what?
Prophetic is obviously a huge part of that.
No,
Yeah.
But
10%
Sigil is
mitigation so
for
far.
Just one item slot going to provide so much damage mitigation and so much sustain that we
The
felt like
10%,
this was
right?
kind of
5
flying under the
from
radar
Prophetic
potentially
and 5
in
from
some
this?
players' eyes
Yeah.
as the big core issue, more so than a slow item that takes a long time and certain gods do well and certain gods don't.
Yeah.
Sigil is just, if you get to 20 and slam this upgrade, your tankiness just skyrockets.
Yeah,
My ideal
Slow
Smite is
shoots
1
through
tank and
without
4
any type
damage
of,
dealers. No, my ideal tank
real
is where the
conscious
support is a
decision-making
support
during the
god
game.
that uses
So decreasing the
items
base
and stuff to
mitigation,
buff his
by
teammates.
2%,
The
and
solo
then
is a tank
mitigation
that
per
front
stack
lines and is the
by
tank,
1%,
and then
and you
3
can get
damage
up to
dealers,
3
a hunter, an
stacks
assassin,
of,
and a mage.
that damage mitigation. So
The
it's
way
overall losing
MOBAs were
5%
traditionally made.
damage mitigation.
Got it.
5% might not seem like
Your
a
support
ton,
shouldn't be a tank
but it will
who only
it will
CCs and
make
then
a
is
big
under leveled and
difference
does
in terms of
nothing.
how much
Your
damage
support
you're
should
actually
be
dealing to
any
these targets.
character that can
And then
help the
also
team
the
do
healing
more
that was built into
and
this,
be
I
more.
think, was really not on its face the most powerful thing this item was doing.
Yeah.
But that doesn't have any type of internal cooldown. So if I get hit by
Warriors and
3
Guardians do way
abilities,
too much damage.
I'm
Their
getting
base damage
healed
is
for
extremely too high.
3%, pretty much instantly from
right off
each
the
of
top.
those.
But it's
And
only
that's-
too
and that's
high
very, very
because
strong.
Bluestone,
Players
Glad
aren't really
Shield,
understanding
Sunring
they need to
Axe are
potentially build
items which
anti-heal against
enhance your
sigil
damage
users.
and make you
We
do
don't want
3
that,
extra
that
damage.
knowledge barrier to be the success gate of the item.
Yeah.
So I think that
Exactly.
we're happy that Sigil is stronger than it has been in the
Finally.
past. You know, yeah,
Yeah.
finally it's been how long
At
that for people to start buying Sigil. It needed some sort of sustain in order to get it there, we think.
That makes too much
We
sense to
don't
do,
want-
exactly.
Its primary identity is not as a sustain item.
Yeah.
Why does
Yeah.
Smite
We
have
don't
no
want this to be an item
enchanters?
you need to build
I
anti-heal
think they've
against
tried, but they
or
don't
you're
commit to
shut
it
down. So
because of the way
we
their
think that
items and
between
base
5%
numbers are on
mitigation
Warriors
off
and Guardians.
and a significant heal cut, Sigil should be a lot more manageable to play against.
Awesome. Well, yeah, sounds like a lot, but again, tanks came out of the gate really roaring
Pretty good.
10-1, so we're just trying to bring things back in line a little. So moving down, Berserker Shield looks like some of the passive is being
Nerfs.
nerfed a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, and again, another mitigation item.
Another
One
mitigation.
thing that you'll notice
Almost
about the two things
like
that we
Hunters were
just
also building
had
this.
on our list that we talked about.
Alright,
were
that's
they're late game
15%
items.
Yes.
mitigation
They're items that you
between
don't see
3
until,
items.
like level 20 or so.
Yep.
So we wanted to make sure that we were also covering our bases a little bit towards the early game, especially for those, arena players or joust players that get to this point a lot faster than you would in Conquest.
Yeah.
This is one of those items that you will just slam into a build if you're able to, because it's just going to keep you alive in a
Yep.
lot of situations that you would almost always die in. So I feel like, because we've gone to take a little bit off of here, 5% on that passive, it's going to
It's
at least
funny
even
because
out
this
that
indirects
curve
like
quite a bit.
Bologna
And make sure that, again, the top
and
end, when you combine it with all those
Osiris
other
and all
things,
those gods
is not
who
as
weren't who were
insane
just
as
going the item because it's
In
core to their
total,
kit.
for the mitigation build that everyone's running, Sigil, Berserkers, Prophetic,
Oni Hunters, yeah.
Spirit, all that, you are losing 10% damage mitigation and
Ooh.
30 prots across the entire build.
Yeah.
A very significant nerf.
We'll see
Oh,
it.
yeah.
We are going to be keeping our eye on it. We want to make sure that is not going to be this big frustration point for the community, these super tanky Guardians and Warriors and things like that. But we do think that it's good that these tanks can feel tanky late, as long as they aren't also dealing too much damage.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
That's
think
the
that
line.
there is a middle ground that we can find there. It's going to take some tuning, for sure. I don't know that who knows when we'll be able to hit it, but I'm feeling optimistic that late game tanks can feel tankier than they have in seasons past, while not raising their threat level a whole lot and making it feel more fair to play as and play against.
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of the tank dream. Dealing damage is,
Elliot,
is
knock
fun,
you-
but
Elliot,
as
please.
a Guardian player, I like that I don't die quickly so that I can get in there and be disruptive so that I
Yes.
can
Exactly.
protect my laners or
Yep.
disrupt theirs. So looking forward to that. But
Prophetic
this game has
Cloak's
been around for 10
mitigation is
years.
not
Would you
fine. It's
imagine
20 right now in
that
current
does not
Smite.
solve
It's
problems.
20%
You really gotta sit
mitigations
down.
at
It's
all
math.
times.
It's a lot of
You
math.
just take
It's
20% less
horrifying.
damage
So,
for having an
I
item.
know y'all will keep
That's
that
not
in.
okay.
So next up, Crusher, another kind of shift nerf going into Crusher.
Yeah, Crusher, we just felt like, we're happy with the change to make it more late game oriented than early
Yeah.
game oriented. It feels a little
That's
bit
a
more
good
smooth in the
change.
early game.
It's not a nerf
just,
or
you
a
don't have
buff.
to
It's
have
just
this big
a change, a shift.
drenched in sweat moment where it's between Jotuns and Brawlers and
It's an
Crusher
expensive item.
and, new Shadow Drinker and all that kind of stuff. We like its new late game identity.
Yeah.
It is pretty. Assassins in general have been
Prophetic is
very
20%
strong,
Yeah,
right now.
and we have definitely been seeing
Unless
a lot
they
of
change
feedback
it in
and
the
stats about
mini
that.
patch. Did they change it last
but
patch?
This items did feel very prohibitively expensive.
Because it was 10 and then
at
20
times. So we want
before.
to bring down the cost, but also bring down its
Originally.
actual numbers and effectiveness. So just a little bit of power off, and then the big thing, of
They
course,
might have
is losing
changed
the
it
scale
at some
of
point. I don't know, but it
passive.
was 10 and 20 when I
But
like in
still
the
think
beginning.
that with its competitive stat line and just making sure that you're dealing maximum damage with your abilities come late, Crusher will still have a pretty solid spot.
Awesome. Awesome,
They
awesome.
changed
So
it in
we
the
have
mini
one
patch?
more
Okay.
big nerf to talk about, and that's Heartseeker, also getting nerfed.
Yeah, so again, Assassins, very
Good.
strong right now.
Very
Currently,
strong.
really good. If you're jungler, you're probably having a great time. Everybody else?
What a
Ooh,
surprise!
not
Who
so
would have guessed that
much.
jungle is good? Like
It's
every
crazy.
patch ever,
Unbelievable.
something like that.
Anyway, though, one thing that we want to talk about here is
Jungle is good
between
every
Heartseeker
patch
and
ever?
Crusher,
No,
they're both
you're
items
drunk.
that have big bonus damage procs,
Yes.
right? And so one
Assassins
thing that
were
we're
ass
noticing
all
between
last
these two
year.
items and Bluestone
No
is
pro
that
jungler
you're
could
just trying
shine.
to
They
grab
all look
as many
like
proc
fucking
items as you
potatoes.
can and blow someone up instantly, which for Squishy, not very fun. I'm not gonna lie, not the most fun gameplay to
Not
play
enjoyable.
against. And so to deal with that, we are going to
This is a good
decrease
change.
the
Good nerf.
damage that you're dealing against low max HP targets. So that's your squishies, right?
That line was
From
100%
3%
bait.
to 2%. But
That
again,
line
it will still
was
scale to 6% for height,
Warrior,
max HP
Guardian,
targets, so your
and
tanks,
Mage
you're still gonna be
players
doing a lot of
talking.
damage to them. But squishies, just not as much damage against them. So overall, trying to make sure that you're not blowing up the squishies right away with your Crusher, Heartseeker, Bluestone, whatever it is, procs.
They
but
probably still will.
Yeah.
They've got
they'll
a lot.
still take a
Little
lot
bit.
of damage. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, but you're not going to be one-shotting them, per se.
Yeah, don't try to face tank as a squishy, but like you
No.
know, if you're trying to dodge, odds are you'll be a little better off. So.
Exactly.
Well, cool. So that does it for nerfs, but there are buffs to the item scale as
Woo.
well. So let's get into some
Love
of those. Starting with Horn Shard, looks like a little bit of a fix almost.
Yeah, really just a text fix.
Just a text fix, okay.
This item has, since its launch in 10.1, been doubly as effective as described. Instead of getting 0.5 seconds off your cooldowns every
You're getting three total
every
seconds?
second for 3
Yeah.
seconds, it's been a full second. So it's really been 0.5, to be more specific, it's been 0.5 every 0.5 instead of every second, which is what it was initially listed
Why
as.
didn't they just do
Yeah.
1
So
second
now
every
the
second?
description will be more accurate. It's not going to be any different than what you've been
Why
playing
did they
with.
text this so
It's
make it so
just
challenging?
the same amount
1
of strength.
second every second for 3
We
seconds.
discussed.
Why is it 0.5
making
seconds
it
every
match the
0.5 seconds for
description,
3
but
seconds?
No one, everyone's been playing with it
Yeah.
and feeling like it's okay, but not the strongest. People think it's okay as is.
Yeah.
Why
Horn
make
Shard
it
is
more
really good on a lot of
Yeah.
gods. Like
Excited to see
really,
how
really
much
good.
this changes perception.
Yeah, I was about to say this
I
is
wonder
a,
what
Horn Shard
what's
is
gonna do
fucking
with
sick.
rate.
it's a perception.
Especially after they
buff.
nerfed
exactly.
the
Interested to see
power
how
Every
one.
sense of the word.
Well, if you see it getting nerfed
That's
in
hard.
bonus, then you'll know how well it did. So next up, Kinsai also getting a buff.
On Hebo, you get your one like
we
3
heard you loud and
times.
clear, Hunters. We know that
been
it's
listening.
been very difficult to deal with tanks, and so hopefully we're going to give you a little bit of help here with some Chinsai buff with 5% more attack speed, and we're also increasing that bonus damage against those tanky targets that are a little bit tougher to chew through this time around. So
Yes.
giving you a little bit of help there because we see it.
Yes.
We see it.
Is this
Next
all
up,
they're buffing on
the
hunters?
mysterious boomerang. How do they work? The bladed boomerang specifically getting a buff, being a little stronger, I guess. So yeah, get into it.
Yeah, just wanted to
I
make
like
this item
bladed
a little
boomerang.
bit better in the earlier stages of the game.
Got it.
So decreased cost, increased attack speed. But the big one here, I think, is making those deployables, those boomerangs coming back to you,
Yeah.
more easy to pick up.
Okay.
So they should be, without bogging everyone down with all the numbers, it should be roughly 50% closer to you when it drops. It's still a random
That's a lot.
angle in which it could come out.
Yeah.
And then the distance is controlled. So it should be a little less wide, the cone, and it should be spawning a little bit closer to you. So just easier to keep that buff uptime, because we really think that for our players who can maintain their focus of hit and become a very strong duelist with this item, this can be a really strong dueling item in lane.
Yeah.
But it needs to be a little bit more consistent and easier to execute on than where it launched. So hopefully this gives hunters an exciting, second item or so
Yeah.
to go and enhance their boxing potential in lane, and then have that chin size buff there in order to help deal damage to tanks if you want to split.
What is
your,
this?
Your crit and
My extension's blocking it.
chins build. You can do so if you want to.
Got it. All right. Well, sounds good. A little easier to catch a boomerang.
Yep.
I remember having one of those as a kid.
I'm
Never
not
came
sharing
back,
my
so,
sub in the Smite
Shout out
game
to
chat.
Stick. Yeah. Well, no, it was like all right. It was like a cracker.
I
barrel
like
Anyway, it
boomerang.
doesn't matter. Let's go to Chronos
Well,
Pendant. So the
Mercury
blink
and
gets a
some
little bit of a
melee
buff.
junglers and
Yeah,
like
so we've been
Nemesis.
seeing
I
a
like
lot of
boomerang.
interesting mage builds coming, especially with Castle Destinies, getting a bit of a buff as well. But we've been seeing a lot of
That's
these like proc
an
items and not so much
interesting
of these
buff.
other like more core items. So instead of really pushing people away from those items in particular, we want to try and see what giving them more options looks
Yeah.
like, to see if they would like to rather purchase something else instead. So Chronos Pendant is one of those items that's incredibly
Chronos
core
Pendant,
for a
I
lot
think,
of players in Smite.
that
they
might be
just
big
truly
enough
love
change
this
to be
item,
good.
Love the passive. Just think it's incredibly fun. So we want to see,
It is.
if we give it a little bit of a bump in power, is it going to compete with these other items? Will we actually see it being built? I really hope so, because I think this item is really, really fun. And
I love Chronos
it would
Pendant.
be awesome
my favorite
to
items
get
in the
more of
game.
them.
Yeah, mages have become more of a topic of conversation over the last few days than
Yeah.
than when we initially wrote the patch notes. So we'll definitely be
We're keeping an eye.
we're keeping an eye on mages and what their build path looks like and all that kind of stuff. But for now, hopefully Chronos Pendant can tempt some people to change up the build order and the build path in general.
Got it. Awesome. Hey, always good to see some diversity in the build path. Next up, the Brawler's Beatstick getting a little bit of a buff as well, it looks like.
Yeah, this one all the anti-heal items got new passives and
Yeah.
subsequently cost changes.
Yeah,
in
this
10.1.
item, Brawlers is such a
we've heard the
shit
feedback
item
that
now.
this
Like, it's so
passive edition
good,
didn't
but it was
feel
so
strong
shit to
enough
buy.
warrant
And the
cost
passive was
increase that it
dumb.
got. It became pretty expensive.
That
So we're kind
passive
of
was
doing a little bit
poo-poo.
of both, where we are decreasing
That,
the cost by 100
the
gold
power in a
and
circle shit.
also increasing the actual new component
Okay.
of this item at the same time.
Yeah.
So now the zone where you gain power after you kill someone is going from 10 to 20 power, so it should be a stronger area in which to fight.
Most
and
of the time,
also
people
fix the
see
text,
the
so you know
passive
exactly
after
how
people
long
die
that
on the
buffer
ground and
lasts.
shit.
Got it. Awesome. So this just started burning a hole in my chest. I didn't mention the update notes are live right now because we were talking about a lot of numbers and percentages. So if you want to follow along, make sure to go check that out.
Yeah.
A lot of you already know that because you're smart and well informed, but I have to say it because I work hard on those. So
Vulcan
I work
doesn't
hard on
really build
it's
Chronos
a
Pendant.
joint effort, so I just make sure it tries to look nice. So anyway, those are live now. Make sure to check
Can,
it out.
but it's
anyway,
not
looks like
really
we're kind
normal.
of climbing up the item tree back to a tier 1 with the cloak getting a little bit of a buff.
Yeah, so these next few are going to be about the supports and
Yes.
even some solo laners, some items coming up. But we
Yeah.
talked about this a little
Wait,
bit earlier.
why?
with
It's so
Cloak.
cheap.
This tier 1 compared to the stone tier 1, just not really on the
Didn't
same
balance
page.
out.
A little
No.
bit of stat discrepancy there. So this
Wait,
is kind of the
so now every-
opposite of what we did with the stone. where
every
we're
support start's gonna have a
decreasing
war.
The tier 1 cost, increasing the tier 2 cost, but the ultimate tier 3 cost of everything else is
Every
going to stay
support
the
should have.
same.
Wait, is that 2
So
wards?
it's really just making the tier 1 a little bit cheaper to compensate for its worse stats in comparison to the stone.
Sure, you got to pull one back, push one forward, and then hope that they meet somewhere in the middle. So
Yep.
awesome, awesome. Well, continuing down the line, we have Cannoneer's Cuirass. Cuirass?
Sure. Yeah,
Sure.
One of those.
I still have not nailed down how to pronounce
That item
So,
is
yeah, it's
so
getting-
it's-
fucking
the Cannon
weird,
dude shirt is
dude.
getting
Yeah,
buffed. so-
Cannoneers is what I'd call it for shorthand. Yeah, so just a cost decrease. You know, this item has
The
certainly
way
been
to make this
overshadowed
item
by
valuable is have the tier 2
prophetic
get
rush.
the passive
Thief
of
still being
exploding
a
a
very
creep.
strong option to start. We want to see if just making this a very cheap starting option for supports allows them to influence other people's gold gains.
Yeah.
You know, make sure
This item's never been
them
built.
coming
Nobody's
split your
building this
way
shit
feels
yet.
less
I
like
don't know
a
if that's
negative
cheap
and
enough to
more
make it
like
built.
oh, nice, I got 25 extra gold.
Yeah.
For each wave, so we'll see how this plays out with just a nice little cost.
Yeah, but
This is
that's
a
the
big
problem. You get the item way
Yeah,
too late.
150.
They should put it on the
150,
tier
especially for
2.
a first item, like
That's true.
150 gold is not created equally between a 6th item and a,
Yeah,
and a
and
first
the
item.
first
You know,
item, for
first item
sure.
is where it's really, really important. So this is we think that this will be pretty impactful.
Awesome. Well, I'll be excited to see it popping up as a first item in some builds, hopefully.
Here's hoping.
So next up, Dawnbringer. The Dawn is brought a little brighter, I guess. I don't know. It's getting a buff too.
People buy that in
Yeah,
assault.
this is another item that we were hoping to see a little bit more of, and so again, we kind of.
I don't
were
think this
wondering,
item is
it's
bad,
not-
so
not
this
good.
might
No, they're
make
pretty
it
good.
bought a
It's
lot
not
in
good.
solo lane.
No, it's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Everything else though, the cost, maybe a little bit
Expensive.
prohibitive.
Yeah.
A little too expensive
too
for
much
the build.
dollars.
So we're going to be taking it down 200 gold,
Whew.
which again, a lot.
That's
So
a
I'd
lot.
love to be seeing a little bit more of these. We want to really know if this is going to make Dawnbringer one of those really fun items that you engage a team fight with, and then you get to go fast. I mean, that sounds pretty fun.
That does sound fun. And it has really cool item art, so, not opposed to seeing it around
10 out of
anyway.
10.
It's
just
pretty.
really good looking. So next up, Absolution also getting a buff.
Yeah, a lot of you might notice that people might have gotten scared when we said this is the section for buffing supports and warriors,
Yeah.
but all very defensive oriented
Yes.
things.
Yes.
Absolution is gaining a little bit more magical protection and some more CCR. This item has a very potentially impactful passive,
Yeah.
but it is not always the easiest to apply in the right
Mhm.
moment. We don't think that this item will necessarily be core on all builds all the time, but we want it to be an item that when
High
you
magical
realize,
protections.
oh, they have an Ares alt or a Nox combo or a Fenrir alt, and I can use this passive in order to cleanse my teammate out of these very impactful CCs,
Yeah.
that you're feeling good about buying it at the same time.
I
When
like
it
the
isn't just,
idea
I
of this
ha-
item
I
a
have
lot.
to.
Yeah, I got
It's that I get to. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
hopefully Absolution.
That'll
gets
be
a little bit
something
more
I feel like at high levels
Cool.
can be
Awesome.
really
And so we
valuable.
are down to one more buff in the item tree, and that's Phalanx getting a buff.
Yeah, Phalanx has been a really interesting case because the buff that it can provide to minions is really, really strong.
strong.
The item itself, maybe not so much.
Sure.
So to compensate for that, we're going to be giving it 5 more physical protections to make it even better in lane against your physical compatriots over in the solo lane. Or, if you're playing against a double physical duo lane, maybe an option there as well.
Sure.
And then giving it an extra 50 health. So that'll just keep you a little bit healthier, a little bit more protected, and hopefully protect your minions as well.
Phalanx isn't a meme
Well,
item.
does it for the items. So
The
that was
idea
cool.
of a
Lots of
strat
good
of
changes,
pushing,
trying to bring
like
contagion
playing
back
a
into the
pushing
realm of
comp or
like
something.
not being every other Twitter post on the timeline. So lots of good stuff. Again, as we get into PTS and 10.2, let us know what y'all see. But that's not all for balance. We have gods we got to get into.
We got more.
And yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. So how
I
about
didn't touch
Alquan?
Bluestone,
Let's get a
bro.
little bit
What
of a
the
nerf.
fuck?
Yeah, it's the era of Alquang buffs has officially come to a close.
Yeah, this
it
is the
seems.
stop.
Everyone realizing that Alquang on the new map with some new items, feeling very impactful.
Yeah.
Just walking back, one of the more recent changes that we've done on Wildstorm increased its scaling not too long ago. Now bringing it back, still has all those other buffs to try and get him in the right zone. Where
I can't
before
believe they
he
didn't
went from,
touch Bluestone,
like,
bro.
basically unplayed to one of the top
Or
bands in
Gladshield,
Yeah,
ranked.
that was
again.
crazy to see, by
That
the
was
way.
a
Just
very
the
quickly.
change between 9-12 to 10-1 ban rate, Alquan going from like actually the bottom to #1 band in all of ranked. That was crazy to see.
Yeah, that really does not happen very often.
No,
that
not
isn't
at
like
all.
a new god being released into ranked for the first time. So we're going to be keeping our eye on Alquang, but we think this will do a good amount to bring him back to a more acceptable state.
Yeah, bring it back to that happy medium.
Yep.
So cool. Next up, Hebo also getting a nerf.
Yeah, this is just another one of those magical junglers that you see
Yeah.
every so often where, especially in this new interesting meta where it's a lot of grouping
Those
things up,
gods are
Hobblide does
so
very
really
at
good,
clearing
by
a
the
lot of
way.
things very quickly
Those
because he's got such a
nerfs
low cooldown
are
on his
completely
abilities, and Water Spout was
fucking,
one
I
of
won't
those
say
ones
irrelevant,
that's,
but
like,
they're
you're poking
not
from
going
pretty
to make
far
these
away,
gods bad.
Yeah.
doing a lot of damage with it, you're clearing really well with it. What don't you do with this ability, So it's got to come down a little bit, taking that base damage down to help with the clear, taking the scaling down a bit to help with the poke.
You have to realize the items
altogether,
are what
a
are
little bit
making these
worse
gods
for
OP.
our little water guy.
The items with extra damage on mages and on fucking assassins and on warriors is what's
Yeah.
making everything OP.
I'm excited to see what this does to Disco.
Oh,
He's a god that's always
God.
been like good, but not
Oh,
great.
Yeah.
Really, really close to being
God.
good.
This might be the one. The cooldown on the 3.
All right, Disco's gonna be meta.
Yeah.
Disco's 100% gonna be meta. I'm not trolling.
Ultimate just didn't quite hit hard enough.
Over the
especially
wall
on that
mages are
initial
already
hit,
OP,
being
so
backloaded,
she was like this close to
having
being
the
good
majority of the
already,
damage
and now
come from
she's
the
gonna be
explosion
fucking
rather
nuts.
than the initial hit
Yeah.
Her
has
2
made
as a 13-second
this
cooldown.
ability feel really unique
Her
to play
ultimate
against,
hard as fuck.
and has a good differentiator between it and a lot of other burst damage mage ultimates, which we
Yeah.
really like.
And now you're gonna have
But it
warriors
could
or
use a
assassins
little bit
running
more
around
on
with
that
disco
front end.
buffs.
So just a good amount of
fun with
scaling
that.
on that. 10% is pretty solid, and just a little bit of base damage as well. And I think that I'm going to be playing some Discordia.
Yeah,
come next
Discordia
week,
is
let me
going
tell
to
you
be
that.
Really
the
excited.
playtime's going up now.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Well, next up we have Geb also getting a buff.
What?
Oh, poor little Gib.
Poor little
Geb.
Poor little rock
Just
friend.
one of the lowest
Why are we
clear guardians
buffing-
in our roster
Oh,
by quite a large
Okay.
margin, I might argue.
That's
so
gonna
he's
be
getting a little
really
bit of help
annoying.
there,
I get the clear,
to
wanting
where
to clear, make
his
it do
cooldown
minion
is gonna
damage.
be a little bit lower, so you can
Stop
slam
buffing
the
the
wave a little
base
bit more
numbers.
often.
Make it do minion damage. What the fuck? Wait.
The laning phase instead of just
Oh,
being
I'm
a
getting trolled.
Yeah, instead of just,
he is the
Yeah.
Earth, but
Yeah, it's like, good luck
Yeah.
clearing this wave. I'm out of here, by the way.
yeah, later.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so Tsukuyomi also riding the buff train, it looks like.
Yeah,
What?
just needing a little bit more damage, for a meta that seems to really favor ability-focused assassins.
Yeah.
If Tsukuyomi isn't up there, that's probably an indicator that it isn't anything else holding him back besides his own individual damage numbers. So
I hate
we went pretty
Tsukiyomi,
light.
man.
We know how easily it can be tipped
hate
over
him
the
so
scales
much.
for Tsukuyomi.
True.
But really wanting to reward those players who are particularly accurate with the ultimate
Yeah.
and with the 1. So the 1, Dark Moon Shuriken, gets 10 base damage, helps us clear as well. And then the scaling per dash hit goes up by 5%.
I don't think Tsukiyomi's sick.
That's
He's
potentially
just
a 20%
all range
scaling buff
damage. He
to
can
get
half
all
health
4
you without
teams
ever
on the
being
same target.
in range
Yeah.
to take
Dash
damage.
four
Landing it.
times, so
And I
it's,
think his ultimate's
it'll be pretty
bad because of the
substantial
way it
effect
interacts with
if
Aegis.
you're piloting Tsukiyomi well.
You can
Awesome.
literally
Gotta be
fully
hitting them,
counter
Gotta be hitting them.
Gotta be
Tsukiyomi's
hitting them. I mean,
ult
as somebody who
with
doesn't play a
Aegis.
ton of assassins, that ult is still just so fun to use. Even
It's
if you hit
so
one
fun.
person, you're
One
like,
of my favorite
got
parts of the
him.
game. Yep.
So cool. Jing Wei also seeing a bit of a buff here.
yeah, this is another one of our low pressure dual lane gods who's getting
Yeah.
a little bit of love here, just in the clear, really. So what we're doing is increasing the damage per tick. This is not the initial hit. It's for anything sitting in it. So it's not
Yep.
really going to be gods. That's
Got
mostly
it.
minions that are sitting in the persistent gust. So
Yeah.
that damage is going up a bit. That's going to help her clear as long as you're keeping the minions inside of the gust.
Yep.
And then taking that cooldown to actually lower it the more you rank it. So for those who are maxing it first, which you should be if you're playing Jingwei,
I hope so.
you know, you're going to have that extra 2 seconds once you get to that rank 5 moment, and it's going to feel really good.
Nice. Awesome.
It helps transition her a little bit.
Yeah, kind of bring them back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, which I guess is good for Jingwei because the flying and the So, one more buff on our god list here. We have Chernobog also getting a buff.
I
Chernobog,
expected this,
a god
actually.
that we've seen come in and out of the meta fairly frequently at
Back and
a
forth,
high level in particular, but we just felt like the
Damn,
mana
they made
costs
his
on kit
3
were
go
in
down
general a
2
little bit too
seconds in
high.
cooldown
This is a
initially.
god
What the
that
fuck?
sometimes felt like you were forced to be building Transcendence, but he's not really a traditional
He's not really.
ability hunter that like
Yeah,
wants to
not
be building
exactly.
Transcendence. It's still good on him, but in general, felt like he was maybe a little bit too reliant on the MP5 and the mana that it was providing. So just clean mana cost decreases on a couple things. And then in particular, the dash cooldown, still scaling to the same point. We know that his late game is particularly strong.
Yeah.
You know, because you can use your dash, get up in your ultimate, fly down, have your dash ready to go again. We didn't want to bring that bottom end or that the max rank cooldown down a whole lot more.
Yeah.
So that's staying the same. It's just instead of 18 to 14, 16 to 14, making him a little bit safer during the laning phase.
Cool, cool.
Chernobog's
Awesome.
annoying a god
Well,
to play
that
against, man.
does
His
it
ult can be
for our
so
balance for
frustrating.
this time around. So a lot of good things coming, a lot of changes.
That was
down
a
the
lot
pipeline.
less than
So
I
again, you'll be
expected,
able
to be
test these
honest.
out in PTS and see them in live next week.
I
Something that I've
really
always enjoyed
expected them to
saying
go a
ever since we started
little bit
doing it.
heavier
So,
on the assassin
beautiful to hear.
nerfs.
But yeah, that does it for balance. And now we got some news to talk about. So let's
Chernobog
talk
is a
about
better
some
Apollo.
news.
Agreed.
Starting off with some merch news.
Safer.
So
Yeah.
for those of you that don't know, Ymir is here. And if you went to SWC, you'd have known that this beautiful little fella right here, the little Ymir plushie, is still on sale.
Bro,
so if you want to get them,
those are
make sure
cool,
to
but
check
they're
them
not
out
worth
before
the
they
like
are
$30
gone,
or
because they're
whatever they
super
cost.
adorable. And yes, I love that picture
That's such a great
so
picture.
much.
So cute.
So that it is absolutely incredible. What a great memory. What a great little plushie. So make sure to pick it up if you get the chance. He is my boy. He's going to chill with me now. So we also have the VVGG hoodies. If you hadn't seen one of those, they were also on sale at SWC and are on sale online. They're just really cool hoodies. They have the VVGG on the back, Smite right there on the front. They're actually incredible. I
would
work for the
never
company, and I
buy
was like, I'm gonna
any
let fans
clothes
buy
from
these
Hi-Res
before I tried
ever.
to get one at SWC.
Never,
I
ever.
couldn't even get one because
The
they're
people that
awesome.
make their
So it's one of
clothing,
those things where you put it on
these
and
companies
your
are
friend sees
ass,
it and they buy
and
it,
they
and then it's
fuck
a whole
you
chain
over so
domino
hard
effect
with
thing,
these
so it's
clothes.
a really great hoodie. So
Also, who the
pick it
fuck
up.
is
I would
walking
highly
around with a
recommend it.
VVGG
I
hoodie?
will be doing that myself. So moving on, we have some SPL news, which always feels cool talking about after seeing SWC photos. So there's a promotion tournament next week, so make sure to get on that. But the big point here is February 22nd, which is actually really, really close, isn't it? Yeah, that's very close. So we have the play-in tournament for the SPL. Get hype. This is incredible. So many things. There are 10
Now
competing
this is
teams,
exciting.
as you can see here on the
22nd?
screen.
7 days?
A double elimination bracket. The top 2 teams are qualifying for SPL.
I'm gonna stream
we gotta
this.
Look at those teams. You got to start rooting for them because they're going to need you to cheer them all the way into the SPL. The broadcast will begin at 11 a.m. ET, where you'll always watch your broadcasts at a Smite game on Twitch. So super awesome for y'all to watch. And just get excited for it because that is going to be a really, really incredible tournament. There's going to be a lot of talent going on over that 4-day period, 22nd through 26th. So again, make sure you're ready for it because it is going to be hype. It's one of those glue yourself to your seat and like stare. You might want to get some of the like glasses that block out blue lights. Your eyes don't shrivel up like raisins. But cool. Anyway, so that does it for our news. We have some cool cosmetics to talk about and some events coming up in 10.2, starting with, and this is very interesting, this is super new, something that we're calling the Mythical Market. So
That sounds fun.
It's very fun. It's very, very fun. So the Mythical Market is something we've never done before, and it's a new store opening that's going to have an individual twist for each different person that looks at it. So there's a lot of text on the screen. Again, this is all on the patch notes if you want to go read that as well, if you know, because there's a lot of it. But essentially what this is there will be a bundle that everybody gets to see, and it's going to have some very fun bee-themed things. We have a Jingwei skin, which we'll show y'all in just a second.
What the
As
fuck?
well as an
They're
Avatar
really trying to get you to
skin.
buy some
But
old
this will
skins,
also
bro.
have a very cool bundle that is specifically designed for each different person looking at it. So as you look at your bundle, you will see something that, in theory, will reflect a character you like to play or a role you like to play and give you an option of some new cosmetic
If
items.
there's any tier
for,
5s
that.
or
And we have a
skins
screenshot
that
of
you're
what
not
the
supposed to be able to
market
get
should
in
look
this
like,
fucking
but
market.
Again, it will be.
Wait, what are they
it
gonna
will
put
have
in
a
mine
bundle
when I have everything?
specified to who you are as a Smite player. And you'll also have the skin, so you get a little preview of what the B skin looks like, and we'll be showing you all that in just a second.
Well, the skins I don't have going to be in this fucking thing
bundle, but it will also be steeply discounted.
Are the 5 skins I don't have going to be in this fucking market? Because if they are,
so this is a limited event. You'll see it on the home screen.
I'll sign off on this
10.2, but this is limited. So if you see it, make sure to check it out before it's gone, because all things that are good do not last forever. So again,
gonna
watch
get
out for the
mastery
mythical market
skins,
coming with
probably,
10.2.
dude. Hey,
But
if they're
I mean, y'all
cheap,
just saw
if they're
a preview
75%
of
off, I'll
the
get them.
skin, and I think it's time that
for,
we show y'all what that skin
what's it
looks
called?
like, and that would be
Not for gems, the other shit.
Oh,
I have not, Trends.
my
So
goodness.
adorable.
Look at the little bees. Okay, I guess they're not little.
Yeah,
they're pretty big.
Yeah, they're
Chonky.
big.
They're
Chonky bees.
chonky.
Are those like, you know, the whole thing like bees aren't they by all laws of nature bees shouldn't be able to fly. Like, I don't even know if that's true. Number one. Number two, I know these things shouldn't be able to fly. Like
No.
the wing to body ratio is just, there's no way.
It's a little skewed, but they are super, super adorable. So, ooh, and here's our new turnarounds. So we have a brand new
Hey,
turnaround.
the
I love them. All
cutscenes,
the
boy, the
cinematic
cuts.
angles.
Yeah,
Oh,
very cool.
shit, the cuts.
Looking
Oh.
great.
Yeah, look at the design.
God, the
All right, her wings look
zooms,
a
the
little small for flight,
speed.
too, so.
The fast
Maybe a little.
forward.
She makes it work. I mean, she'll figure it
It's
out.
so stylish, though. I love the like puffer jacket.
This is
Yeah,
way
that's
better
really
than just
stylish.
spinning
That is a
around
sick
like
puffer
this.
jacket. I would wear that for sure.
True. About to cop me the bee puffer jacket.
Yeah.
I'm not trying
All right,
to just
let's hear
spin
a voice line.
for fucking 10 minutes.
What's all the buzz about?
But
They said they only have these ones, so they're gonna keep playing
I'm a
through it.
sucker for simple jokes like that. All right, so we figure such a cool skin. Might as well see it in game real quick.
This is like
you
a
know, part of the
TikTok
mythical market
fucking,
event, a brand new event, a cool new skin.
cut.
Let's just see what these hi. Let's see what these abilities look like.
This'll help.
Well, I mean, of
Oh.
course,
Man,
you know
that's
it's gotta
so
have a
cool.
little
Crazy hype.
honeycomb action.
Really
there if you
awesome.
want. But
Super
it still
cool.
Looks awesome.
I love
It
Crazy
does.
cool.
I love all the
Crazy
bee
cool.
theming.
Oh, that's great. Oh, and the buff
Oh,
on there
that
as well.
boomerang spawns right
That's
next
really
to you
cool.
now. Holy
Oh.
fuck.
Just like
Man, these abilities are crazy, sick, cool, super
They're all just
awesome.
fine.
Yeah, works just
So-
fine for her. So awesome.
Ooh,
Very cool.
That's sick.
I love the texture, like the honeycomb
It's just
texture.
fucking
for the
yellow.
ultimate is exactly what I was hoping for, and it's like absolutely perfect. It's just awesome.
That looks so cool,
I
man.
agree. I am a big honey/bee/honeycomb stan.
Yeah,
I know
the
some people,
boomerang
and I
spawning
learned
right
this
next to you is
recently,
dope.
Some people that actually like freaks them out and is not great for them. So if you are
Honeycombs?
Very cool.
yeah, like the shape and the texture. I have been told
Wow,
that that is
super
a thing that
sick.
some people just cannot stand. So if you are in the audience and cannot stand it, I'm sorry. But otherwise, this is a really cool skin. So again, look out for it in the mythical market.
That's
But
a dope
not
animation
all.
for the
We have more
boomerang.
things to talk
I like
about.
that.
Starting next with actually a skin that you won't be getting for a very long time. This is not gonna. So technically, this isn't available until 11.1. So what is
Oh my
it?
gosh.
2024. It hurts me to even say those out loud, but it's a commendation skin. We like showing y'all this in advance so that y'all know what's at stake if you are mean. So the commendation
mean.
reward, yeah, right. Don't be mean. The commendation reward is Ishtar. So let's check out Gilded Glory.
Yeah,
Ishtar.
why are they announcing this a year in advance?
I'll be a good girl.
Card.
What? I don't know why that keeps happening. It's pissing
Yes,
me
mommy.
off.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Mommy. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's incredibly.
Why are
epic
they
looking.
announcing this
And,
a year
again,
in advance?
Commendation reward. So
I see why they wanted to show this.
Up
Yeah,
on
the
anybody's,
booba.
in anybody's skin roster until 11.1.
Conveniently
which is
angled to the side.
So far away. We're just toes
Love the
into
content.
year 10 right
How do
now.
you get ranked
But
God Warriors?
Oh,
I'm
the
11
white.
games and on Open
That
put
looks
10
really
ones and I
nice.
thought
That
I'd
looks
get
really,
it at
really
10
nice.
wins total.
That's so good.
And this will be available for
What?
everybody who just gets those commendations. So just play nice, be a good teammate, try to be a leader, try to be a friend, and
or a guide. Any of those.
yeah,
What? Yeah.
any
What?
of those really.
It's just a
Any
plain
of
white
them.
skin.
Make sure you commend your teammates who are doing a
Who
good
the
job.
fuck
True.
cares? It's a recolor.
Too, don't you?
Yeah,
You're
share
announcing
the
this a
love.
year
So
in
there's a lot of
advance for
rewards
a
that can be earned
recolor?
via commendations, not just this skin, but this is the pot at the end of the rainbow, I guess. So let's have a good, fun, clean, being nice to each other year 10. Get a cool reward for it.
Holy
And,
shit.
yeah, that's a long ways away. But either way, it's super cool, and we're super excited about it. So
It's not
be
super
excited for
anything.
this
It's super
coming at
average. It's
11.1.
super mid.
Next up, we have a new chest coming
Mild
with the
as
next
fuck.
update with 10.2, and that is the Posh chest. And that comes with Sir Snooze Kumbhakarna.
Oh.
Sir Snooze.
Sir
Sir
Snooze.
Oh my
Snooze Imbo.
goodness.
That's Sir Snooze to you.
Snooze.
It's so good. I love this. This like skin line in general just obviously has some of the best voice lines in the entire game.
Oh,
I
no
love
doubt.
the.
Oh yeah, one of us
the
does have a really
personality
cool
and
voice line,
everything they
right?
have, and I will say that playtesting.
This has
and,
to be
like,
good in
content
game, 'cause the
testing
card art
Sir
isn't
Snooze
insane.
Goomba is one of my favorite ones that I've done. in a
It's
while.
gotta look
It's
sick in game.
So it was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It looks so good.
He's got the drip.
He does got the drip.
I love that jacket. We've been talking about the jackets a lot, right? But I mean, come on, look at that thing.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it is.
It
It would cover
Sorry.
my entire body. Like it would. You wouldn't be able to see me in that jacket.
That's a jacket fortress for the normal, but for Sir Snooze, beautiful dinnerware.
But he rocks it, man.
He does.
He rocks
And
it.
the monocle.
Yeah.
I love these turnarounds, by the way. Like
So
they're
funny.
so dramatic. I'm
Yeah.
really.
I'm sorry, the face caught me off guard.
No, it's so good. All right, let's hear a voice line.
Yeah, the
Be
fangs.
well dressed.
I don't know.
Behave like a gentleman and keep your shoes shined.
Gotta be keeping those shoes shine.
Gotta keep them shoes shined, honestly. Behave like a gentleman. So yet another skin you can look out for with next week's update.
Dude has a ring pop
so
on his
now we're
finger.
gonna move into some bonus content. There are more skins in 10.2.
Dude is
but we
rocking
wanna
a
talk
ring
about,
pop.
the bonus patch for 10.2 first. So the first of these skins that you'll be looking out for is the Fit Check chest, which holds Techno Blaster Hu Yi.
What?
Yeah, I think
Ooh.
he's passing the fit check.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, all of our skins have been so stylish. I mean, this guy's giving us some kind of party, surely.
I was about to say, and I'll be the one to say it. Okay? Is it a vest or a jacket? It looks kind of like a jacket. It's really cool.
It's a
though,
jacket, and it's really cool.
and it's dope.
Yeah.
So
Can we do, like one non-cool jacket challenge? We fail it.
There has to be.
We don't we stay making sick jackets. That's all we make.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Look at that bow. That's like a little turntable. He's carrying around the jams, dude. He's about to get the party started.
This skin is sick.
Hope
It is
kid
kinda
and
sick.
wife are
What up, Jackson?
kind of
Shocking news
loving
skin
it. I love all the
releases.
colors too. Anything with
Oh,
changing
we are.
colors like
Yep.
that. Like I'm a sucker for RGB,
Yep.
so I'm all about
Yeah,
it.
you're a real gamer.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
It's real gamer hours, and we got some RGB.
Yo, we
out
selling
here
those
to
joggers
represent.
though? Like those joggers are looking clean and comfy. At
I
the
was
same
about to
time.
say, tweet about it. We'll get it on the merch store. We'll try our best.
Yep.
So let's hear a voice line real quick.
Dang.
Okay.
Could you imagine someone walking around like not at a rave or something, just in a out on the
He was
street
nervous.
wearing that
It's his first
outfit?
time playing a show here.
Right.
So
I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
he's never been in front of an audience this big. It makes sense. But no, looking really good. And again,
You'd
this
have
will
to
be the
be
first of
in some
two
kind
new
of a
skins available
vibe.
with the 10.2
to
bonus
fucking
update. The second of
wear
which
that.
will be within the Touch of Evil chest, and that's Blood Raven Horus.
no way he's got a cool jacket.
Oh, not a jacket.
No.
Yeah, it's armor.
Just a
And
breastplate,
It's cool.
yeah.
Like, I wouldn't rock that one necessarily, but I mean, I could if I was like
Yeah. If I was
going in. If I was like some type of blood raven.
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah,
A
this
blood-laden
whole hyping up
massacre.
every
Yeah,
skin
like, I would
over and
not
over
do
again
that.
is getting really
This is a really
old,
cool
and I
twist
don't
on
know,
Horus, though, 'cause
like,
he's usually like
I don't know why
a
they're
really
doing this.
Nice guy.
Yes.
He doesn't look so nice here.
No, yeah, definitely.
Oh,
it doesn't
he's
look nice
scary.
here either.
Yeah, he is. Wow, he is scary.
Definitely
the
a
skull
departure
is dope.
from
I don't
fun little
know.
farmer
The rest
Horus,
of the armor's not
so-
bad.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
say that
I don't
He's
know.
going through
I
his
feel
goth
weird
phase.
about the blend of
but it
the
is a phase.
cool
Oh, yeah,
skull
no,
and
it's
then
not.
Okay.
the
This is
armor.
gonna go forever.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. The skull on top is really cool. Like the color contrast between the dark gray and the silver and all that kind of
Let's
stuff.
just
like,
name
really
every
makes it
color and then
stand
say how
out.
super cool it is a couple times,
And
guys.
plus, I just can't help but call out like the
And
way
it
that
keeps
the horse
spinning,
stands with the
and
arms
maybe
down and the
yeah,
wings
then we'll
up
talk
is
about
such
something
an
else. The
imposing
wings
stance.
up,
Yeah, he
that-
about
wings
it.
up.
Yeah, adding that like
Fingers
villainous look
curled.
makes it immediately look
Great
threatening.
skin.
So,
Curled fingers.
Super cool. Let's hear a voice line for this one.
The blood god hungers. Very well. My duty awaits.
Is he like gonna steal my soul or something?
He'll probably
well,
still
maybe
use
going
just
on
your
here?
blood.
Yeah, just your blood. You have plenty.
Bro, I hope they make
Uh,
extra
so-
money
For now.
for,
Yeah, for now
trying
anyway.
to sell these skins.
So again, that is going to be the second of the two available in the 10.2 bonus update. So look out for that. That'll be coming, I believe, March 7th. So again, eyes up. Be excited for it. But we have some new stuff coming up that we haven't talked about for 10.2 main patch,
So
and that's more
exciting.
Magic: The Gathering. So
here we
Round two,
go.
round 2. Before we
I'll
talk
go to
about it
sleep.
though, let's get
Wake
into
me
a
up when it's
video.
over and we get the new god.
do this. Go take care of them.
That's far enough.
For Kamigawa! Kneel.
I'm not done yet.
I'm just getting warmed up.
I can handle this.
This land will not be tamed.
Is it over?
That's right, more Magic the Gathering. Are y'all excited?
So
Unbelievably
man.
excited. You
Oh
didn't get to
my
hear me
gosh.
gush about it on the 10.1 patch
Tally.
because I was sick. It would have gone 15 more hours from everything, but in particular, me talking about all the Magic skins. Unbelievably excited.
Yeah, well, I'm glad for it because I'm excited too, and we have a lot of cool skins to show off. So y'all have been seeing, we've been putting out teasers and showing y'all kind of what's in store over the past couple days, but now's our chance to really see them live and in action. And you know, I'm excited for it. So before we get to them, I'm just going to run over the event. It's the same event from the first patch. For those of you who weren't here to hear me say it the first time, though, just a brief synopsis is it's a Magic the Gathering event. There's going to be, obviously, all skins. We're up to 10 now with the 5 that we will be releasing here. So tons of Planeswalkers and 1 creature. I don't remember. So we'll have 5 new ones coming out. We'll have another bunch of Planeswalker quests as well. So make sure that you're getting in and starting those quest lines and earning those free rewards, because that is just that's a boatload, a truckload, and a handful of free things you can earn by doing all those different Planeswalker quests. So, and those will all be, there's the original 5, and then we'll have 5 more coming with the update next week. So, and along with the skins, which we'll be seeing in just 1 second, I'll finish talking, I promise.
When they're done with this.
There's also some really cool bundles that I just wanted to highlight because these are really neat. There's a Phyrexian bundle, which is going to have a player title, a fountain skin, and a pedestal. That's cool. Haven't seen any cool pedestals in a while. So we're getting one of those, which I was just really hyped about. And then there's also the Spellslinger bundle, which is going to have a Black Lotus ward skin, which is just, the Black Lotus is infamous amongst Magic the Gathering
Iconic.
players.
Pillow's
It's
not
not as
working
expensive
out.
as a real Black Lotus. though, I have to-
That's true. This one is, you will
There you go.
not be put
Yet.
down payment on your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black Lotus was not that expensive when it was first printed.
True. So
So?
we'll see. Give us several years, but yeah. So lots of cool stuff that y'all can look out for. But y'all will get in and explore the event. Just make sure to lock in those quests. I want y'all to get all your free stuff. So
Yeah.
let's get into the skins.
All
now,
the
huh?
skins have announcer packs that are unlocked in the quests. I wrote all 10 of them. Do the quests. Listen to them. I
Yeah.
think you're going to like
Do the quests, earn the free stuff.
or else I'll be sad.
Yeah, we
You don't want to
want
make aggro
to be-
sad,
exactly.
do you? Come on.
You wouldn't, right?
It'd be the
They
next
haven't
show.
started
The
the
makeup's
skins
running,
yet.
There's tissues everywhere.
They
so.
wouldn't.
No, they wouldn't. They wrote me. They told me. So. All right. So anyway, let's get into the skins now. To get to, we've held y'all up long enough, and we're gonna start with Teferi Kronos.
Yeah, this one,
All
I
right.
mean,
Oh.
Teferi,
Teferi.
So
Time
these look good.
Lord, just absolute master of all-time Magic. Everyone who hates playing against blue and white is
Raising my
Teferi
hand.
is
You guys can't see
their
it, but my hand's
nemesis.
up.
But I, as a Jeskai control player, am I love
Please,
Teferi.
just show
and he
the
just fit-
skin.
he fits so well.
Cover,
with
how much
Kronos,
work
because
it
when you think of
was
Kronos,
and how
it's
cool
Time Guy, number 1.
the colors
And
are.
number
Go
2,
next.
He's got the big staff. Teferi's always got his staff.
The big staff.
So it just made perfect sense, and I think it turned out unbelievably well.
Yeah, this card art alone is incredible to look at. Oh, and here we have the turnaround. Again, I love it. Plus, it looks so good on like the beach with the background.
Yep.
This is
That's
a
where he's gonna be
generic
dominating,
plain
right over
skin.
here.
Yeah, right over here.
In the long lane. Yeah,
I mean, it could be in mid. You never
be in
know.
This is
mid.
an
Yeah, I
extreme.
mean, you know-
This looks like every. Why does this keep happening? It looks like every character ever.
maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
what's
Chat
That's
saying?
pretty good.
The
They
community
adding
gets to
Jesus.
decide.
That's right.
All right,
Why
let's
he
go ahead and
got
hear a
the
voice
fish
line.
mouth?
Let's go, people. I'm on a strict schedule here. I'm kidding.
The top of the staff is cool
That's so
looking, but you
good,
know what? The rest
actually.
of the skin
I'm
looks like
sorry.
every
That really
starter
caught me.
character in
The
every
joke
MMO
of
ever.
a Master of Time being on a strict schedule just really. I get it, but that
Share
broke
my
me a
sub.
little
All right,
bit.
all
I don't know
right.
What else to say?
I did my best. I was really excited to get a chance to write all the Magic voice packs. As many people know, I'm like obsessed with Magic the Gathering. And
Really? No way.
just spend all of my free time and money on it. Really want to give a big shout out to the whole team that kind of records
They go through?
and makes these voice packs happen, because I think that they all really brought
Where's
these
Sam
characters
go?
to life in a really exciting way that feels really true to their characters. And Teferi actor whose name I forgot to write down, unfortunately, did just an unbelievable job.
On the patch notes, though, we have go
Yeah,
to the
it's
very
all on the
bottom,
patch notes.
all on
Yeah,
the
please
patch
check
notes.
that
We
out.
got the voice actor names, so because we work with some really incredible people. But to continue to highlight the talents of the people around us, let's check the skin out in game and see what it looks
Oh,
like
yeah.
live and in action.
There he is.
Bullshit.
Nice to see you again.
Shout out that voice. I just want that voice actor to read me a story.
I know. Oh, the effects are just. It's just such a perfect pairing here for Teferi to
I
go to
like
Chronos
the
and
skin, but this
sling all
isn't a
his
skin we
blue
need to
spells
see
and all
all
that kind
this
of
about.
He's
stuff.
phasing out.
Like
Yep.
this for Chronos. Chronos skins
Phasing
are
out,
ass. This is a good Chronos skin.
Just a perfect reference, and there's
It's
so
plain
many
as fuck.
references
The actual
and
skin part of
all
it, the
of
abilities are
effects
cool.
choices
The effects
and
are
the voice
cool.
lines and all that kind of stuff to various iconic cards from these characters' storied histories in Magic the Gathering that I'm excited for
Wait,
everyone
why?
to
Yeah, why does he have tier
get a
1
chance
demos?
to find all the
The
little
fuck?
Easter eggs that the team put in there.
Yeah, so absolutely incredible again, and I love how deep all
He
of
also
the
has
blues
Silver
are.
Branch
It's
buff.
just-
So he was
I love
probably
that. As always,
on
incredible
the
work done on
Manticore
these
and
skins.
swapped over to this
There
guy.
are more to come. And even as somebody who is just on the outside of Magic knowledge, like I've played it, I'm not as knowledgeable as a lot of my coworkers, but even I have heard rumblings of the name Nicol Bolas, and Tiamat gets to take the honor of having that Planeswalker as a skin. So let's check that out.
Dude,
So cool.
I mean, come on.
that art is incredible.
absolutely incredible.
When we first were like,
Oh,
yeah,
wait,
I
it
think
was
we're gonna
Jingwei,
be able to
you're
do the
right,
Magic
you're
the
right,
Gathering
you're right.
crossover.
I forgot about that.
Nicol Bolas was like, we got to get Nicol Bolas. You know,
Yeah.
that is for a long time been the premier villain in the Magic story. It's who the Gatewatch has had to go up against numerous times, and is the main villain in one of my favorite sets in Planes, which is Amonkhet. Gotta have the God Pharaoh there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and like even during my limited time of playing, this is one of the few Planeswalkers that I actually had and used, and very hard deck to construct. Tricolor is not easy,
Right.
but well worth it. And oh my goodness, look at how great this looks.
The effects for this skin, literally, like I legitimately
wanna see the
gasped
abilities.
the first time that Shane, the effects artist who worked on Nicol Bolas, showed me them. Like such clear references to some of his
Yeah.
iconic cards, and it looks so good in game.
Yeah, this skin is just above and beyond. The full wings, the etching on the armor, the scales. It's just absolutely glorious. Let's go ahead and hear a voice line.
This plane shall be a nice warm-up for taking over the multiverse.
A little bit of nefarious intent.
Just a little bit. That's
Just-
kind of like his thing, though.
Just
to
a
be
little
fair.
bit. Well, I'm still ruminating on the fact that you said that you like gasped at seeing the ability effects, and how could I deprive the community of that? We have to go in game and see this as well. So let's get in there. Let's check this out live and in game. Oh, that looks so good.
Dude, the horns, the lighting on the horns, like
I was looking at the wings, how leathery they look. Like
Yep.
that's
Yeah, the
incredible.
materials are insane on this skin. And oh, here come the effects. Ah!
yeah, those blacked out orbs.
They look so
Just
good.
so cool. I believe.
So
a
what did he
reference to
gasp
Nicol
at?
Bolas, Dragon God, one of the more recent Planeswalker printings for Bolas. It's just
Solid,
So-
but it's just
Summoning
purple.
all the minions in.
yes,
Oh,
that's my
that's
favorite
sick.
on that
That's so
tornado.
That's
Oh,
sick.
doesn't that look incredible? I think that's Apex of Devastation.
That one I
believe,
would-
is the
that's
card that,
gaspable.
that references, and it just turned out unbelievable.
Tornado's sick.
It's crazy the contrast between like there's the purple and the light blues, and then you have that really striking red against the black. It's just
Gotta have all Grixis colors.
I was
you know?
about to
Red,
say,
black,
yeah.
and blue. That's Bolas's identity.
it just looks incredible, and you were right. This looks so good. I am super excited to see this in the games that I play. Running me down in arena probably. I don't know. So man, just absolutely incredible.
It's a lightning bolt
I
on
said
the
the
two.
lightning bolt too. It's so cool.
Yeah, come on, give me. Yeah.
Yeah, give me a break.
I
I'm
think the
losing
skin
it.
is
Well, actually,
basic
don't
and
give
all
us
the
a break.
abilities are
Yeah,
basic
no,
already got
except
it.
for
Yeah,
the
we have more to go.
tornado.
There are no
Yeah.
breaks.
The
It's,
tornado's
we're,
dope.
We're going to continue down the train of amazing things, continuing the Magic the Gathering love with Vivian Reed Artemis.
Oh, as a mono green enjoyer,
Yeah,
I've
this
got
is-
plenty of
The
Vivian
mono
cards in my
green
deck.
stand.
Yeah, Vivian, definitely one of the newer Planeswalkers to be introduced in the grand scheme of Magic's 30-year history.
Yeah.
But has very strong, clear theming on what she's about and how she wants to interact with the world around her, and is a perfect fit for Artemis, as Vivian Reed is someone who constantly summons energy replications of beasts that she's met. The Caledonian Boar is a natural fit for her.
Oh, and an excellent looking skin in game too. I love how each of these have like a. I mean, they just show off their color identity. I guess is what I was going for there. So because the strong green presence and the mono green card style is just super cool to see. I love how the characters are a reflection of the color suit they represent.
I mean, she's all about her arc bow. That's a legendary artifact. It's a huge part of her lore and is what allows her to summon these creatures. And so, Artemis, bow hunter, summons a boar for her ultimate. Like, how much more perfect could it possibly get?
Say.
You know what I mean? It's just such a slam dunk.
Do you think Tusky has trample?
Now, yeah.
Yeah, I'd argue haste as well, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely
you're right.
has haste, for sure.
So, and I just have to comment on how green them eyes be, because they be green. That's
Oh, yeah.
awesome looking. All right, let's hear a voice line.
I can only imagine what types of beasts I'll encounter here.
Dude, imagine Vivian being able to summon, like, the Gold Fury through her arc bow. That's what
That
I
would be
need.
insane.
We just have to stitch a bunch of Jormungandrs together and make a Hydra.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that would be sick.
But all right, so again, super cool, and like all the others, worth seeing in game, which is what we're going to do. So let's dive right on in.
Hello.
Hello.
There she is. Oh my goodness. Look at
Yeah,
those
you
little
know
traps.
that this really.
My guy in
bright
chat who just said,
green
I
is
saw a
gonna be
video where the
everywhere,
Manticore turns into
in this
Fire
kit,
Giant.
and
He's going to
it's
be OP.
just exactly what I think everyone was hoping for when Vivian Reed Artemis was.
If you're
was
this
initially
gullible in
pitched.
everyday life.
And of course, green, the spirit Tusky is going to be making it.
I feel for you, pal.
I absolutely love it. And it looks like the traps close up like bear traps, kind
Yeah.
of. That's really cool. I saw the like clamp.
Yep.
I love that.
That's very cool.
Them got teeth on them.
And I love the little like you can see the little explosion
The
hit effects
skin?
on the
I
arrow
like
where it
the
looks
color
like
of the one. It's a cool
dissipating,
color.
like, kind of
But
exploding
this
like
skin
that.
is
That's a
so
really nice touch.
It
snooze.
is a really nice touch. And again, these greens are just so vibrant.
This
Like
shit
that, I'd
just
argue
puts me
emerald
to
green,
sleep.
Kind of a
Yep.
ethereal
There's
green is
nothing
just
cool about
such
the
a
actual
powerful
skin.
color to look
And
at
then
to
everything
see
is
how
just
well represented
green.
throughout this kit.
Beautiful.
I'm
It's
just
a
psyched out
base
over here.
skin where they made all the abilities
Yep.
just fucking
So, cool,
flat
cool.
green.
So that is the third of 5, but that leaves 2 more to go. And the next Magic the Gathering skin that we're going to go for, I'm sorry, I'm so aghast by the green and how cool these are. I'm losing my words. We have the Wandering Emperor Mulan.
Yeah, this.
How many skins are there for this magic shit?
Well, he didn't need that horn.
He got a haircut. Yeah, that's
It's
what it
fine.
is.
And
You are
look,
not
if the Wandering
joking, my
Emperor
guy.
is doing this, it's
You were
because the Imp
absolutely not
deserves it.
joking.
Yeah.
As a mono white planeswalker, the Wandering Emperor is going to do what is right and what is just here for, in particular, for her home plane of Kamigawa. But this is another one of the newer characters and newer planeswalkers to join the Magic cast. Really
Yeah.
stepping to the forefront of her story in Neon Dynasty, but instantly a fan favorite just because of how incredible that plane is and how much fun that set was.
That was really, really fun.
Yeah, just one of the most popular ones they've done in a long time, and for good reason, because the theming and the art and everything was just so cool. And
and
bringing the Wandering Emperor in to Smite,
Alright.
as she's fairly new to showing up in the Magic story
I
as
can,
well. I think is really,
respect
really
this skin.
exciting for people who are fans of one of the newer characters in Magic.
Yeah, and I mean, the skin is just, as a big Mulan player, I absolutely love this. I love the sword. I love
I hate that this keeps happening.
blue robing.
stupid add-on I
red
gotta turn
highlight
off.
And trim. It's just overall a beautiful skin design. I mean, obviously adapted from incredible art, which is basically all that Magic the Gathering has, is just a ton of incredible art.
It's
So
true.
I'm just happy to see our team put as much effort.
The
as they do
abilities,
into it
if the
to make
abilities
the
look good
3D
on this skin, it'll be the best so
absolutely
far out of
stunning.
what we've seen
So,
today in the
Let's
Magic
hear a
set.
voice line.
Finally, I'm where I am needed. Now, let's begin.
Getting right to the beginning, to
Right to the
protecting.
point. She doesn't
Yeah.
always
Just
get to
zoom
be
in on
where
her
she
crotch.
wants to be because, for our Magic story aficionados out there, they might understand. But overall, her Planeswalker Spark is not exactly dialed in all the time. It erratically kind of transports her around the multiverse. But that's how she became such a great sword wielder is that she was just constantly traveling and taking down who needed to be taken down wherever she was.
These
And
camera
poofing off
pans
to the
are
next plane
good, but
left
they
and
need
right.
to slow them
Hopefully
down.
she
They need
can
the
stay in
same
match long enough
pans
for,
at
for
like
you to
half
do
the
that.
speed
hang
that they're
out.
going at.
Well, awesome. Let's hop in game and see it. You know we have to.
Hello.
Oh, that looks so.
Love you,
The
man.
robe is so awesome.
It's so and the bow. How regal.
Yep.
I just love that sword. I think it's incredible looking.
Yep.
Yeah,
And-
Down
gold,
for it.
gold.
Oh
Yeah, it's
like
all
that.
about
Everything's
being
about
able
to
to
be gold.
transfer energy through her sword. That's depicted in a lot of her card arts, and it translates so well.
It
into Smite.
really does. I love like that,
It's a good skin.
that I guess blocky effect too.
Yep.
Because I don't know what it is about that somebody who understands effects better would know, but it does emanate that aura of like transferred energy, you know.
Yep, and very reminiscent a lot of the art found on cards from her home plane of Kamigawa now in Neon Dynasty. Now that it's a futuristic plane, really fits in with that home identity for her.
Yeah, I love too on the ult during the like the stomp phase or where it hits the ground. I love how you see like the stone path form.
Yep.
That's really cool looking.
Yeah.
So just absolutely incredible all around. I love the like gold and the orange, the deep oranges and like white to yellow gold thing. It just, man. Oh, that was really cool too. The in
Oh,
front.
the last hit?
Yep.
Yeah, wow.
Oh. That's really okay. Cool. Well, I could stand here with my mouth open and stare at this forever, or we can move on to the last skin of the new Magic the Gathering skins. Nissa Ravane Iset. Did I say that right?
You did. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, Nissa is one of the iconic green planeswalkers. Vivian a little bit newer to the cast, as I mentioned, but Nissa's
Okay.
been around for a long time, part of the Gatewatch, and just an iconic character whose story has changed a little bit now with the most recent set, but this is her
Oh,
more
no.
classic before anything terrible ended up happening to her. But yeah, we were really excited to go with a pretty unique skin here for ESET as well.
No
this
wings.
is no wings. I believe this is the
Yeah.
first ESET skin without any wings.
You're right.
But the mat.
Her ability is just
Nissa
gonna be
is
green.
in particular, very very tuned in to each planeswalkers draw their power from ley lines within the world.
Okay.
And Nissa is known for her ability to really connect with the ley lines of
It does look like
planes
Ardia.
that she travels to. So being so interconnected with the magic system in Magic the Gathering, it kind of made sense for her to be this magic wielding mage that is in complete control of that. And Iset is the goddess of magic in Egyptian
Yeah.
mythology. So really think that, again, with a staff being a key part of Nissa as well, we take very seriously using these characters' weapons in the game and what they're
man
typically
said,
depicted with.
Nissa is known
Makes
for her
sense
ability to
for
bore the
it
fuck
to
out of
translate here in
me.
Iset's staff.
Yeah, it does. I mean, with each of these, it's been very cool to see, to have you explain what the process of finding the best one-to-one pairing was, and I just
Yeah.
love hearing that kind of stuff.
Weapon is a big one. for
Weapon
sure.
is a big one. I mean, it's a big, for anybody who has to fight or protect or defend something, that is kind of a key part of the aesthetic. So,
Yep.
cool. Let's go ahead and hear a voice line.
This land is magnificent, but it is in pain. I must help it.
She is just my favorite planeswalker, period.
Really?
I'm a green enjoyer. So
Yeah,
to see
so I've
two
heard.
green skins in this patch, oh my gosh. I'm
Thoroughly.
ecstatic.
Thoroughly enjoying. All right, well, I mean, I wouldn't deprive you of seeing this one in game as well, so we
please.
might as well. You gotta get in there.
Hi.
Hi.
The effects on this one as well, just absolutely crazy.
So
I should
cool.
have written down the card. I forget what card the 2 FX is referencing. I should have. It's some elemental that she's got. But I mean, how cool does this animation look? Of no wings. How are we gonna do wing gust? Well, she's gonna float up there with her magic and,
Yeah, and cast
shoot
it
it all
out.
from the staff instead of from the wings itself, which is a really cool adaptation.
Oh, and I just love like the vines and the elements of nature and all the abilities too. That is so like watching them whip around in
Yep.
that orb is just wild.
Yeah, I really should have written down exactly which elemental that was. But again, all about nature, the interconnectivity of all things, as many green
Cool.
planeswalkers are.
Yeah.
You really get that theming coming through really, really nicely with that ultimate.
I agree. It's coming together really well. And, you know, if I know anything, the show will end and you're going to immediately tweet out, oh my gosh, the card's name was. So
I know.
It'll be
It's
fun.
from before I was
Fake
playing a lot
Magic
in my
fan, fake
defense.
Magic fan.
Yeah, I was about to say, big Magic fan over here.
You guys going to make me Google it right now.
I happen to see the green. No, I didn't even
Listen,
notice.
I pronounced
that
something correctly. I'm not going to
The
give
abilities
you
were
a flag. I
green.
made it through my
The
day.
skin was green.
So cool,
staff
cool.
was
And that will
green.
do it for Magic the Gathering. So those are the 5 new Planeswalker skins that you can look forward to coming
So
with the
exciting.
10.2 update next week. It's right around the corner. It's crazy. Again, I'll never get tired of saying
Give
that.
me the Manticore.
Because waiting is lame. And I mean, obviously, you
To say
know,
the least.
waiting
be
is
patient,
lame. Why am I waiting to see the Manticore?
Don't worry about it. You're good. So there is one last thing we have to talk about on this update show.
Just one?
We're super excited about it. Y'all might have seen some trailers, a little bit of a god reveal for Manticore, the Manticore King. And I think we're going to lead into it with a video. So we'll see you back here in just a second.
There are no gods here. Now, pray.
That is Manticore, the Manticore, the big scary dude with the cool face and the braids and everything.
And you haven't even seen the half of it yet.
I have not even seen the half of it yet, and neither have y'all, but we're going to get there together, I believe. So I guess let's start how we always do. You know, I've been around Smite for a long time, not as long as some, obviously, but the Manticore has not only a very rich and very complex history throughout the larger world, as it were, but within Smite also kind of a history as well. So as we have the designing parties here, please go over kind of what brought the Manticore from its existence outside of the God selection screen to the God selection screen.
Well, the Manticore is a very special entity to a lot of us longtime Smite players. He's
yeah.
been around the battlefield, you might say, but never really directly on it, being present there. So really, the Manticore was initially an NPC that you would see in the training mode. And there also was a time where he would come and be the arena NPC for a while, who we eventually replaced with a Minotaur. And there he is in his glory way back in the day. He looks really good there, you know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we actually didn't make any changes from there to now.
oh my gosh, wow, I'm
Look at
sorry.
him
I'm just
go.
looking at this old arena. This was an
This
incredible
is-
time of Smite.
And the
Old
old-
Zeus too?
Yep.
Yeah, the
Zeus
old
too.
mastery skins.
Yep. Yeah, it's been a crazy, it's year 10 for Smite. We wanted it to feel special for new players, but also for
Who's 3 used to stun,
long-time
yeah.
players who have been with us since the beginning. And the Manticore has always been this kind of like, haha, running joke, like we're gonna, it'll be the Manticore.
Remember
like,
him?
Remember?
He was
yeah,
a
the
ranked
Manticore's
jungle
cool.
meta
YouTube
god for
video
a while
of
when he
the-
had
Yeah.
a stun on his
Fake
3.
God
Yep.
reveal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, now he's going to have a real God reveal.
6 years
Here he
ago, I
is.
think.
Yep.
So, wow.
Just did have an
long time.
attack
A
shit,
real
yep.
one. So we were really excited to be able to give a lot of love and a lot of updating to a god that or to an entity in mythological lore that people know that have been playing Smite, but don't really know quite yet. You're gonna know the Manticore
Yeah.
after this, I promise.
And let's talk about that a little bit, right?
Get
Because the
into it.
Manticore is a mythological creature, right?
Yep.
But where did it even come from? So the Manticore in general is a very multicultural beast. The first ever recorded information of a Manticore in general was way back in Greek and Persian times from Ctesias, who was a Greek physician serving under the, I'm going to say this wrong and I'm so sorry, the Achaemenid dynasty from Persia. So he was serving in the court, and basically he was told from hearsay of various travelers that came through the court talking about this mysterious beast that was eating people in India. And so he basically recorded all its features. That was the first actual documentation of this creature.
Wow.
And so it would talk about how manticores hunted and how they would basically stalk their prey and really be about eating humans, consuming humans for sport, and really leaving nothing behind, which is terrifying when you think about it, that this creature is now going to be consuming gods, per chance, you know, if he can make it. But he's going to have to battle through quite a tough roster of various other mythological beings to get there. But
for sure.
A couple of other small details about why Manticore the name. Well, Manticore is the Persian name for the manticore, which roughly translates to man-eater. The other word that was used in Greek was androphagos, but that would be kind of referring to like people that were cannibals, so not quite the same, not the mythological creature.
Didn't quite cover the same bubble,
Not necessarily under the same bracket, right? So Manticore, Manticore, they're all the same word, but very translated from various different languages. So we wanted to make sure that we were honoring its original heritage by using the name Manticore.
Awesome. Well, super cool.
And
a lot of history. Obviously,
Numbers, values,
I'm not surprised by this
abilities.
because I've watched y'all do the work, and I'm sure many of you who watch aren't as well, but y'all do an incredible amount of work digging into the lore of each of these characters and trying to not only respect their past, but interpret and respectfully fill in the holes, because there are a lot of things out there that you can't just look up and be like, what did he look like? What color were they? How did they act? How did their breath smell? Like, you can't get all that. There's a lot of having to figure things out, and I know y'all do an incredible job of that. So, we've talked about this character a lot. You guys want to go in game, I think?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Let's go in game. Let's check Manticore out in
Holy
game.
fuck, finally.
So, there he is in all of his glory. And as you guys can see, he is big for a hunter.
Where does his auto attacks come from? His tail. Okay,
That's a
dope.
warrior.
That's sick.
Attacking.
Yeah, can we just have him
Bro,
go stand next to Odin real quick,
that
just
looks
so,
so
we can get that nice, quick size
strange.
comparison?
I don't know why.
Yeah, he's probably an Odin tall if you were to lay that Odin sideways, plus the tail, plus the wings.
Yeah.
He's a big boy. And as you can see, he's got a lot of really interesting, iconic features of manticores, being those bat wings, scorpion tail, lion body. But he's elevated among the other manticores, the red buff. You know, even the past manticore, in that he's got, you know, his braids. He's got nice little bling going on in his beard as well. And that's really to give him this more elevated kingly status, because he is the manticore king.
Yeah.
He is, you know, still a beast, but he's more regal, more proper, more calculating when it comes to how he's intimidating, consuming, devouring. He's not just going to go feral. He's going to be thinking about the process the whole way through.
Yeah, the brains of the operation. Well, that is all super cool, and we have a lot of cool kit to talk about. So let's just start out with a kit demonstration. Just throw it all at us. Let's see what it looks like.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
That's so cool. All right, so a lot of things happening right there. A lot of abilities. That one being very interesting, but we're gonna.
Well,
be
everyone
strong.
can see
We're
the
gonna go in
grass.
order. So let's start with the basic attacks, because it looks like there's more than meets the eye to these basic
Is
attacks.
he getting movement speed in that 3?
And as you,
Yeah, he gets a movement speed
know,
buff in his 3.
Very keen-eyed viewers have seen, these are not your average Hunter basic attacks. There's some dot damage on the end of there. So to start out with his basic attack,
Wait,
he's
it
kind of tying
takes
into his
2
passive as well.
autos to ramp it
Each
up?
basic attack that Manticore successfully connects
Maybe it
onto
scales?
an enemy, it can be any enemy god or minion or otherwise.
Got it.
It will be doing dot damage, and so each basic attack applies a stack of venom. The first basic attack on any target applies 4, and you can have a max of 8 at any time. So Manticore's basic attacks deal 90% of his basic attack damage up front, and then they deal 20% basic attack damage over the next 2 seconds. And it'll take 4 times, so that's 5 each time that 0.5 seconds rolls around.
Got it.
But the next fun part about this is that each successful basic attack that you continue to hit that same target with will increase that dot damage by another
Max
venom
is at
stack.
8
so
stacks.
the more venom stacks that you have on an enemy, the more
And
damage
your
they're
initial
taking
hit
over
puts
time,
4
up
stacks
to an
on.
additional 40% of your basic attack damage from that 20%. So you start 20 and can go up to 40% at any time, as long as you're staying within that 2-second window, reapplying basics.
That's awesome. So yeah, it really, if you're trading and you're just landing those basic attacks, you're gonna come out on top as long as you're dialing them in. So that's really cool and unique. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but unlike a lot of other hunters, the basic attack is coming from the center, from directly, you know, it's the tail over the head. So instead of being a left-handed or right-handed bow user, or
Okay, so allies can hide in the grass.
Like this is coming straight down the middle, which I think is
He gets
is
movement speed when he
relatively
leaves it. I don't
singular
think
amongst
gods
hunters.
do.
Is that correct?
It
His
depends on the
basic
character,
attacks
really.
do
Some
more
characters go
damage.
from either side. AMC is kind of one of the most famous ones for being a left-handed shooter,
Yeah.
but this was another very unique animation challenge for us to process. Is
Okay,
he
so
is shooting from
stealthing
his
and
tail.
autoing somebody
He
is a lot.
four-legged beast,
It's
but he's
max
not using
stacks
any of
on
those
that
legs to
dot.
shoot. So
and it's 10%
really
extra
making sure
damage.
that these autos from his tail were feeling really awesome and really powerful.
You put a
was
ward in
one
the
amazing
grass, or you
solution
walk
that
into it,
our
you see
animation
everything
team
in it though.
Came up with was finding a way to get that tail
It's
to really be
40%
shooting,
movement speed for 3
quickly,
seconds.
especially at those high
It
attack
has a
speeds that we know hunters are gonna go
25-second
to.
base
Yeah.
cooldown though.
That's one of the
Holy
big things
fuck.
for new hunter gods.
Holy fuck.
Can we get their autos
It lasts for
feeling
3
right?
minutes.
And right is a subjective.
Grass lasts for
adjective, and
3
it's also,
Hard to find
minutes.
sometimes.
It's impossible to describe because it's different, but it's the same, but it's different for like everyone. So it's really
It doesn't
it's
say how many
really
can be
hard to
active
do,
on
and a lot of
patch
times
notes.
it's just going based on feel. And I think
Oh, 3, yeah, 3.
players
3, and they last for 3
will
minutes.
really appreciate how good
You can have
the
3
basic
down, they
attacks
last for
feel
3 minutes each.
on Manticore roster.
Holy
Definitely something
shit.
that I noticed when
Yo, he's gonna
first got into
rotate
the
across the
playtest.
whole
It's like,
fucking map.
Didn't feel like I needed to adjust my aim in order to hit the basics, which sometimes
Yeah.
you do for some hunters.
Bro, the whole dual
this
lane's
one
about to
felt
be
really good out of the
grass.
game.
Awesome. I do not doubt that at all. Super cool. So let's move on to the passive monstrosity.
Yeah, so this passive is something that you're going to be building throughout the game.
Nice.
But as you can see, he's got a cute little passive meter with his little face on it, and it's going to be slowly filling up as you're doing various hunter actions between hitting basics, hitting abilities, and also
So
getting
his
kills or
one
assists on
slows
guys.
as well as does
It'll
damage.
fill up over time, and then once you hit that threshold of 100 stacks of ferocity, you then will convert it into an attack speed stim for 6 seconds at minimum. And so another really unique thing about Manticore's stim here is that it's not really on an ability. It's going to be kind of similar to Call and Rage,
Oh
where you're
my
going to have to control
gosh.
when you're going to go into this kind of frenzied state. this
Holy
monstrous
shit,
state,
that
you
just
might
didn't
even
that just
say.
give him like
Yeah.
0.4
And so
attack
you can
speed?
continue to keep this basic attack
How
speed
much
going
was
for up to
that?
12 seconds by continuously attacking gods with
Nice.
basic attacks. So if you are hitting gods, you'll be getting additional seconds.
It's
from that
15%
6 up
attack
to
speed
12,
plus 1%
and
per
you
level.
will be slamming pretty quickly, I dare say.
Slamming pretty quickly. Awesome.
But-
That's really cool. And I love
That's
stuff like that.
35%
that's not all,
attack
by the
speed.
way.
Okay,
So each
hold up.
time you reach that monstrous state, you also gain a permanent stack of monstrosity. And so each stack of monstrosity that you have is worth 1% physical lifesteal.
He also
and
gets
1% physical
built-in
ability
lifesteal.
and you can have up to 30 of these.
30% lifesteal?
Time. So quick mass, that's 30% lifesteal and 30% ability lifesteal. So
Built in.
Built
yeah,
in.
pretty good, I dare say.
Yeah, y'all just had to catch. Y'all can't see it, but I just did a double take at that's not all, because that's not all. So
Yeah. It's really, I think this is one of the most
That's a
unique
permanent
and fun
stack.
parts of the kit. is
Permanent.
You want to play the loop of timing your stacks, hitting the right amount, and getting your buff, and the buff feels
Holy
great and looks great to use, all that
fuck.
kind of stuff. But you're also gaining a permanent buff from it, so it's like you're not even sad that it's
So when you
over,
proc
that you
the
start
attack
over.
speed, you get
You're happy that
35%
you
attack
got your
speed.
stack,
You can
and
max
get to
stack
work
the
towards your next
lifesteal
stack.
from this
Which is
passive
which
up
is
to
a really,
30, so you get
really fun
30%
design
max
that
lifesteal.
Laramie really came up with.
yeah, I think that's really cool. Yeah, because it's rewarding in the immediate and it's rewarding in the long game.
Yep.
So gotta love a win-win situation.
The 3 or the 2
Awesome.
pierces
so let's
minions.
move on to the next.
Stops with the first enemy
ability,
god hit.
Acid Rain.
Yeah, so as
lasts
you see
for
here,
3
this
seconds,
is our,
attached to the god it hits.
circle that goes
Cool.
forward. in this
Reduces
path,
their
and so
healing
he's basically flinging out
by
all of these
50%.
spines from his wings and they're raining down.
You
in
can
sort of
explode
this
it by hitting it with a basic
venomous,
attack or an ability. The
rain.
explosion
So
deals
as you'll
damage,
see, there
reduces
is that
healing, and roots
circular
the
point of
gods.
damage that's doing a bit of
Roots
burst,
for
and then
1.8
if you
seconds.
remain in that poisonous field any longer, you will be slowed and
he's
taking damage
anti-heal.
over time. But as soon as you leave the field, slows
That
down,
does a
damage is
dot,
gone.
by the way.
Just,
This leaves like
pretty
a
solid wave
dot
clear,
or
and
something, I
really
guess.
neat
Not
thing
a
about
dot,
this
but
is that
like,
you can
you know,
actually
if you're
fire
in it, you're taking more
from a
damage.
distance, so it doesn't have to be right in
Holy
front of you. You have
shit!
a pretty solid range poke to be
You
able
get
to throw
clear
this
from the back of
a
your
decent,
tower.
Distance away.
Yeah, I was about to say that has quite the range on it. That's really
What
cool. I
the
just love
fuck?
The effect of that. Not only the ability, like I
It's
can't
because
remember
this guy
what
has no
indicator of
movement.
Where it's going to be, because that looks
Other
really
than the
cool.
ult.
But just I don't know. The effect of the ability itself is incredible to look at. All of the like acid splotching and bubbling, the way it hits the ground.
Yeah, standing in that probably hurts a lot.
Yeah,
It does.
it looks like it would.
I would
so-
recommend against it.
Especially now there aren't any shoes on the battleground. I mean, come on. So
Yep, right on the feet.
that's an old meme. All right. So next up, we have another ability called Poisoned Barb.
Yeah, so this is his 2, and so what you'll see here is
Okay,
that
I don't know if I'm
there's a
reading this
line
ult
attack,
correctly.
and then there's that kind of grayed out circle, and so what you'll notice is that when you click the button, the line is what happens first, and this pierces minions and stops in the first god hit, and
This
basically
ult is
impales
nuts.
them with this giant poisonous barb. And so what you'll notice is that if you drop
That
it on the
barb is
ground
anti-heal,
here,
by the
there
way.
will be
That
a
is
range around
anti-heal.
it, and so you can actually blow this thing up with a basic attack, acid rain, or when we get to the ultimate, we'll talk about it there. But you have those 3 options to blow it up, and it'll do damage and anti-heal to anyone hit by it. And that includes
It'll also
when
root.
they're impaled by the spike as well. So
Got it.
while you're impaled,
For
you're
1.8
anti-heal,
seconds.
and then after the explosion, anyone hit by the explosion is also anti-healed. But
If I-
there's one more small feature that comes with this.
I'm reading this
You
ult
know,
right,
those
bro. It does
keen-eyed
so
viewers
much
might also
damage.
Be seeing it. If you impale a god and then explode the barb, they are rooted.
Why does
And
it come out
it's
as a
only
wiener?
The god that's been hit by the stinger that's rooted. So
Got it.
not so much CC here, but it is very, very strong in those one-on-one fights, especially when you can blow it up.
This
with
god's
other
auto
abilities as
attack
well.
damage should be
Especially if you're
cracked.
laning against, you know, a lane that has a healer in it.
I wonder. I bet you people don't go crit with him though, right? You're gonna want to go with max attack speed, like literally max silver
That's
branch
10
attack
seconds
speed.
maximum of anti-heal if you're able to really min-max that time.
Yeah. The
Is it a
detonation,
better Freya
the time
ult?
logic of the god, so that's really cool. And so much utility too. You gotta love it.
If I'm reading it right, it hits.
Gives you a lot of room to play and learn how you.
It
can
hits
finesse
12
and
times,
most
and it
of
hits for
So like
95 plus
Yep, and to be
20% of
clear,
your
the spike
physical
will last
power every
either
time.
deployed or inside of whoever
So-
you've hit for 3 seconds. So you have 3 seconds to blow it up, and then after that time, it will just go away unless you explode it.
Very cool too. Yeah.
If
If
I'm
it's just
reading
on
it
the
right,
ground and you
yeah.
don't know about stuck in a god, you can see the indicator of that circle kind of growing outward to indicate. That's really cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
Gotta
very
love the visual indicators on the map.
The scaling is like what? Is it 160?
I'm
Right?
screaming and mashing buttons.
No,
So
wait, no,
super cool.
140?
The next ability
Is
is
my
one
mouth
that I'm
wrong?
really, really anxious.
140% scaling on the ult, and it hits for like
stalk prey.
like
So,
1100 base.
It's been a long time coming, but finally we have a god that makes their own stealth grass. And so this ability is so much
Oh
fun
my
because
God, I
you can
didn't even
really
think
build
about
your
it.
own jungle, more or less. And so as you can see here, our driver is demonstrating just the power of being able to stack up 3 of these guys. You can have 3 bushes at once.
Bro, you're never
each
gonna be
of
able to
them last
gank him.
for 3 minutes on their own. So what's going on here is basically you are stealthed, but it's not your normal everyday average stealth. If someone were to walk into this bush or were to place a ward in it, you would be revealed. And so it works a little bit differently than your typical stealths in that way. And of course, if you were to attack, you would also be revealed. Another very special thing about this is that it works for your teammates as well. So you can throw one down around a fire giant, maybe catch someone off guard when they're trying to go ward it. That's a really fun way that we've been seeing it be used. And then additionally, for Manticore specifically, he gains movement speed while inside of the brush, and then also for a couple seconds after he leaves.
Bro, he's
So
gonna
this
die
is
a
mostly
lot
his,
though. Like
escape
if you aren't
mechanism. If he
using
needs
this
to get out,
grass
that's his,
insanely
runaway
well,
button,
you're
more or
gonna
less. Just
fucking
dropping
die
this
on
at your
cooldown.
feet,
You
doing
have
a
no
little juking
self
around,
heal.
and then
Your
getting the
ult
heck out of
is your
there.
only
But the other
out.
small thing that this does is that if you are in stealth and you basic attack an enemy to leave your stealth, you're also applying max stacks of venom, so that's 8 stacks immediately with your basic attack. So that has to be revealing you from the stealth. It's not leaving and then doing it. You have to be inside of the bush and revealing yourself with that attack to get that 8 stacks right away.
That's a sneak attack. You gotta, if they don't expect you, you get it right off. So my first question is, you say it works with allies. Does it stealth enemies?
It does not. It is only for your squad. So enemies can be on top of it, and they'll see anyone who's inside of it.
Yeah.
But if you're not in it, you know, it's kind of a scary deal. You know, you could just walk up and face check the grass, but do you want to be doing that when the
Yeah.
respawn timers are hitting 50, 60 seconds? It's a little bit risky to do.
I was about to say immediately, and you already said this, but I can just imagine, like, you just put them in 3 totally different
crazy.
locations around the fire giant pit, and they're coming up trying to posture, and they're like, there could be 5 of them in one of these bushes, and I have no idea which one it is.
It
so.
really creates really unique feeling engagements. Not even just around fire, where it's obviously like super strong,
Just
but
like that, yes.
in lane. Like if you based and came back to lane and you didn't see Manticore go into one of these grass bushes, like there were plenty of times where I'd come back to lane, Lermy's ahead of me because she always is, and I'm like, if she's in this bush, I'm just dead.
It's just game over.
And you feel legitimate fear like walking near it. Because you know, unless you have a ward, you really can't check it very safely.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you can be in a playtest and get soloed and then come back to your purple, and Lermy and 2 of her allies are for some reason in
I
it
remember that.
on top of my purple buff. I was already 2 levels down, but it's fine. It really sets up a lot of different gameplay scenarios that are really unique to Manticore, and
Cool down on the bushes.
really they're strong, and that's what
25
makes it
seconds
fun, is
at
that
level
it
1
really
down to
does-
15 at max.
It changes how you're going to play the
And a
game.
pretty short
around
cooldown, to be honest.
This one ability, in a really cool way, especially when we're at 125. This is 125 joining Smite, I believe. This is the 125th god.
Yes.
Finding a way to impact your whole game flow.
Clear should
this
be
many gods in
decent.
is
I don't
something
know
that
if it's
we're always
great,
trying
but
to
the
do,
clear
and I
should be
think that
decent.
Manticore does it really well.
Yeah,
I
another
agree.
small detail with this is that you can actually back in the grass. And
Yeah,
no
that's
one
big.
will ever know.
Oh,
Yep,
And that
they
gives us
don't-
a chance to look at this back-end animation, which, by the way, super sick looking.
I agree. Oh man. Well, and all those totally theoretical stories that you were just telling, and
You have 40%
many more
movement
that I
speed when
think-
you
I mean,
come out of that
I'm just gonna
that
use
grass
the
at max
plan.
rank.
I'm just gonna have them tactfully laid out
Yeah,
throughout my
you can do
lane.
that.
Yeah,
Just
you
run
can.
So many options. I could probably sit here. We could talk about all the different ways you could use it for like another 3 hours, but we can't do that. We're just gonna.
No.
Yeah, it's up to
His
y'all.
ultimate
to make
is
these up
a
and then
lot
send
of
us really
damage.
awesome,
Like a
clips
lot
on
of
Twitter
damage for a
how
hunter
awesome y'all are
ultimate.
using this ability to pull one over on your enemies.
I'm pretty sure
So,
it's
super awesome. Let's get into
it's
the
way more damage than honor ult,
This will
but
send death from above.
And that's certainly
you
what
can
it
move
is.
around
So
and, like, not
Manticore
get hit.
becomes CC immune, as you're seeing. He's going to fly up into the air for 3 seconds.
It hits
So
12
this
times.
is basically an auto fire, rapid
it shreds
fire
protections.
ability that is raining down these
at
like
up to
poison
max,
toxic
it shreds up to
bursts from the
40%
sky.
protection.
You can move around while this is happening. You can change your aim
For 3 seconds.
and of course, you can use this to run away if you really need to. But who's going to want to do that when you've got 12 bursts of damage, each one applying a physical protection debuff? And it stacks as well. So the more shots that you're hitting on an enemy,
Enemy
the
C130 above.
longer this debuff is going to last, and also the more drastic this debuff is going to be, up to 40% physical protection.
40%
if you land 8
pen.
of the 12 shots.
it's for 95
It's a lot.
base
big,
at
you know,
every
portion
hit.
of
12
the
times, it's for
circles that you do have
95
to
at
hit,
max
but
rank and
it
20%
affects their whole
scaling
team
on
as
each
well.
hit
so
as
any
well.
other physical characters that are following up on that debuff.
So
that you can
95 times
applied are also
12. What
going
is
to
that?
be
What's 95
going
times
crazy.
12?
So he's a bit of a team player. You know, he's one of those characters that you might say, oh, he looks like he might stalk on his own, but he's okay with it as well. You know, he's owned up to
1140.
being the king and all.
And then let's say you have 300
And
power, right?
Just showcase how you can detonate the poison barb
Exactly.
as well with the with that ult. So super cool way. To
An extra
get
480.
That,
So it can hit for like
anti-heal
1600
and
damage late
proc it
game
with your ult,
before
shred
mitigation.
off and really just put something in, you know?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, this ultimate feels really fun because you just press 4 and then you're up in the sky and you don't have to. Our driver back there isn't slamming left click really fast in order to get all those shots to come out really quickly. They happen automatically. You get to just
Nah, people
focus
aren't gonna
on
build. You're not gonna build
your
Bluestone
aim.
on this
Yeah,
god. I don't
and
think.
making sure
Maybe you will.
that you're
Maybe you're
landing
right.
shots, and it's,
I don't think people are gonna build
it really
Bluestone,
gives
but
it this really
Wait.
unique feel. You know, we have
Wait,
a couple
now that you
ultimates
say
get you up
that,
in the air like that, but
this maybe he
Manticore
will work as an
feels
ability
really,
jungler.
really fun for that rapid fire. feel.
Maybe
Like
he
Freya
will
needs
work as an
4 big
ability
bursts. You have to
jungler.
click up for each one, having it be this machine gun that goes off by
It's the
itself.
max power I can get on an
As you'll
assassin.
see, is a little bit of a theme throughout his kit. He's all
Can I
about
break-
these
can
small
I get to
numbers
600
that add
yet?
up between his basics, between
Yep.
acid rain, between death from above. They're all these kind of little numbers that you wouldn't expect to hurt a lot, but once you start getting hit by a lot of them, they're gonna add up, and they will do.
Can
some
I
damage.
100 to 0
Yeah,
somebody
that's
with the
super
ult?
Cool. So, and you know, just as we are done seeing the kit now, in y'all's experience playtesting and having gone through this so far, how's this character stood
Bluestone,
up? You know,
Heartseeker.
are there any crazy combos y'all have seen, or kind of what play
Crusher.
style?
Could I 100 to 0
Manticore
somebody with
really
that ult?
brought in that you feel is unique to this character in y'all's experience so far?
Yeah, so as you can see, not a whole lot of CC, not a whole lot of movement
Yeah.
in his kit, but he certainly has a couple of
I
very
can't wait
unique
for
ways
Friday
to
now,
play
dude.
safely or to
I might be able to
self-heal
one-shot
himself,
somebody with
whether
my
that's,
ult.
you know, dropping a bush on your feet, dropping acid rain on your feet, being able to really just
Might
hunker
be
down
able
and
to
fight with his
one-shot
lifesteal
somebody
for
with the ult.
monstrosity if you absolutely need to.
With
He has
ability
a lot of
lifesteal, you'd be
tools
able to
stay in the
full
fight, and
heal.
He's one of those characters that
All of your ult.
will win you a fight or die trying.
Yep. Yeah, I think the big thing for Manticore is that he is going to stand his ground and one of you is dying. Like anytime you're
Him
starting
with
a
full
full-on
attack speed
engagement
is
with
gonna be
Manticore,
scary,
He
dude.
does a lot of damage, but
Scary.
it's very susceptible to incoming damage at the same time because of
Maybe
the
not even
lack
full
of
attack speed, though.
ability.
Crit might be
Creates
still be
this
the wave.
playstyle that
Because you don't have a stim.
is
You're getting
really
35%
fun
at
when
all
you
times, but
make
not like
the
a
mindset
stim.
shift of
Yeah.
I don't need to live. I need to do as much damage as I can before I go down.
I want to play him now.
That
I want to
that
test
type
him.
of play style, the players who like playing gods like Freya, who
I gotta
are
test
just,
them. I have ideas.
I'm down to just dump all our buttons and see who wins. That's kind of Manticore, but in a physical form. And so I think that style of physical hunter, that all in, I'm gonna out DPS you, but I'm susceptible to getting outnumbered and that kind of stuff is a fun, unique play.
That's right. The attack speed isn't passive. It's the lifesteal that's passive. The attack speed you have to build up.
Not to mention, I can't wait to see what
I
people
really
do with
wonder.
Stockbray.
Maybe I
That's
can play
gonna
an
be
ability
such
base.
a-
Many possibilities.
So many
Jungle
things.
Manticore,
the fact that
baby.
it affects your team adds a whole layer of there's a new interaction for 124 other gods or whichever the number is. So again, I am so looking forward to PTS and live release both. The timeline on Twitter just blowing up with clips of y'all like 5 people hiding in a bush in solo lane level 1 or just some really cheesy nonsense. So please do it. I'm looking forward to it. But we've talked about it. Let's see some of the card arts as we get into it. Let's just see what the standard card art looks like. I just want to see it.
And there
Yes,
he is
please.
in all of his regal, venomous, beastly glory.
I was about to say.
What's his
normally when a
recolor
god
gonna
is,
be that they drop
smiling in
with?
their portrait, that makes them look like friendly and welcoming. And for some reason, I can't really pinpoint why. I don't feel very welcomed.
Is it the skulls, the bones?
Yeah.
I honestly don't think it contributed to one thing. I just think Aggro's very perceptive and just reading between the lines.
Manticore has been a
Yeah, I'm
meme
just getting the
/ god
vibe
everyone's
that,
wanted in the game for like
that isn't
10
a
years.
friendly smile.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things about Manticores is that, since some of them do have the capability to speak, a lot of it is through intimidation, and usually they'll eat their prey whole, leaving absolutely nothing behind, not even their money, their possessions, their belonging. They'll eat it all. But Manticore here likes to keep a couple trophies to really be that intimidating, terrifying beast that we know of him through mythology.
You gotta love a king with an eye for interior design. So let's hear a voice line real quick.
For eons, the Manticores have been mercilessly slaughtered by the gods. Now, it is my turn to hunt them.
He's scary, man.
Cool voice line.
The voice too, like that. Just I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm seeing the face. I'm hearing the voice. It's kind of lining up. It's exactly what I think it should be.
Yep.
And like you said, intimidation is
Yeah,
there.
I can't wait for BTS now.
100%. All right, so let's look at some of the new gods come out. They have these cool recolors. Let's look at some of those, starting with Imperious Manticore.
Oh, this art is amazing.
Yo.
That's
So
horrifying.
Yo.
Look at the face.
yes, one small
That is-
detail that
that is
we
very weird
may have
looking.
missed in the model turnaround that you guys are going to have to look for in game is in some of his idle animations, he actually shows off this really terrifying jaw that comes completely unhinged. Because, how is he supposed to swallow people whole if he just has a little normal basic mouth? No, his whole jaw comes open. And it's terrifying. You might be able to see it here, in fact, if he plays
you
one
can
of his
definitely
idle
see how
animations.
wide the mouth is and all those teeth jammed in there. Oh man.
Yeah, he's terrifying, but in the best way. He's scary, but he's got a little bit of a smile going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, not super welcoming, but
A grin a dentist would be proud of.
Yes.
Cool. So let's move on. So this is the standard recolor. Let's move on to the Ascended skin, Ascended Manticore.
Oh, and this is a bit of a throwback as well.
that-
to his,
that was the
classic
one for the
colors of
last
being
card
purple.
art?
Yep.
The last
his
card art
poison
looks sick, but that didn't look
typically,
like the
in
last
his base
card art.
release was that green color, but we gotta do a little bit of a throwback to
Gotta
our
throw it back
OG.
a little bit.
And this purple looks so good on him, by the way.
yeah, it looks awesome. Very cool little homage to the classic
kinda sad.
Manticore color scheme.
Yeah.
The last
it looks
recolor
so
looked like
good.
it was gonna be dope.
I'm a purple fan, so
Yep.
I'm all out here for it.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. It looks
That's
great.
Such a cool throwback. So, and again, Ascended skin, part of the Year 10 pass, so make sure you pick that up, because if you don't have the God pass, it will give you the skin, the God, the voice pack. It'll give you the whole 9 for every new God that comes out this year. So pick that up if you are so inclined. It is well worth it. But now we got to get into what I'm going to refer to now as the Learn Me Will Have Them Soon skins, the Mastery skins. So let's check the Masteries out.
Ooh.
Oh, that's so cool.
And once again, the mouth is terrifying.
Yep.
The stare, absolutely intimidating.
The fleshy bat wings are freaking me out a little bit.
Yeah, you're gonna get eaten in just a couple of seconds
Yeah,
here.
this
He's
is
only
the victory Like it's
Yeah.
over. When he
Yeah.
hits this, it's done.
Ooh,
Oh.
and look at those textures, by the way. Can we talk about just how cool it is to see those.
That
like,
is a nice way to
metallic
implement
shines
the
on all
gold.
those
Say.
Typically,
That's
organic
one of the better
materials, 'cause
ways
this was an interesting
that they've
challenge as
implemented
well
the gold
for,
into any
our
skin.
3D art team to figure out, he doesn't
I can
really
respect
have
that.
many accessories to bling up to really make the legendary skins pop. But yeah, as you can see, it just looks so sick with the claws, the
does.
horns, the hair, the tail. I mean, you got everything here.
Very gilded, very kingly too. It kind of fits the aesthetic of the king to have this gilded crown of golden horns and like the gold-plated claws and everything.
Yep.
It's just
And the diamond. I mean, can we talk about this diamond?
Dude, that texture, like, that is crazy.
That's super crazy.
It's really melding the organic with these like kind of gemstone-like qualities that our mastery skins have, and this is one of the coolest diamond skins I think that we have, and just like the sheer blend that we've done here between those two materials, and he just looks shiny, man.
He just does look shiny. I think you hit the nail on the head. Absolutely incredible. So yeah, you've seen it all.
I want to play him.
Some incredible stuff on this update.
I want to
show.
play
We
him
have
really
the balance,
bad.
obviously, and again, if you want to look over that, update notes are out. Go check it out.
So they didn't
All
kill
the new
Jungle like I
skins,
thought they
Magic
would.
the Gathering crossovers.
And
were
Manticore
kicking
might
us
be
out,
more fun to play
we'll
than
soon
I thought he
almost,
was going
you'll
to
have
be.
seen him out in the
I was
wild
afraid he's going to be
now,
another auto attack
stalking the
hunter.
Battleground will make its presence known. PTS on Friday, and in the game
I will be
next
playing
Tuesday,
PTS Friday.
which is just right around the corner. So only very few sleeps away. But it's been an incredible show so far. I'm looking forward very much to the second update of Smite's Year 10 and of the Season of Monsters, bringing yet another horrifying monster to the forefront of the battleground. Excited to continue down this path and show y'all what's next when the time comes. But for today, that is everything we've got. Thank y'all for
That's
joining
it.
me on the show.
Thanks for having us.